is not working tonight. We've advertised this as a meeting where people can comment by Zoom and attend by Zoom. Zoom's not here because our videographer has had car trouble, is stuck too far to get here. So I'm going to ask Alice to go over what we can and cannot do tonight and how we will proceed, and we'll do what we can. I'm sorry, but the open meeting law prevents us probably from making decisions on things tonight because people have to be able to give them the opportunity to comment. But I'm going to turn it over to Alice to sort of tell us our way forward here.
Sure. I think that about sums it up, is that we can't close anything tonight. Anyone who's planning to attend by Zoom is not going to be able to.
Do we know? Because you're supposed to notify someone if you want to attend by Zoom.
No, you have to tell us in advance.
Oh, okay.
No, they have the option to do either or.
Okay.
All right. Well, here we go.
So
Godspeed.
we'll have to just leave everything open until the next meeting.
All right. Well, first things first. Then it's 6:10 on
The 7th.
on the 9th of February. Mark McIntyre, and with me are board members Jane Claire, Susan Stevenson, and Quinn Popel. Board member Kathy was going to join us by Zoom, but she's unable. But we have quorum, so with that, I'm going to motion to open the February 9th meeting of the Board of Architecture Review and Historic Preservation. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Alex, our planning director, is with us. We do have our recording secretary, Jackie Allen, is in the back, and of course, Alice Cooley is here as of council. So we'll move forward and try to get through what we can tonight. I apologize, for all of us. So
It's your fault,
here we go.
Mark.
Well, I just feel bad because we did a meeting 2 weeks ago. I just feel bad for people, and I feel bad for all the prep. Moving
Don't
on.
even go there.
Okay, so the first thing on the agenda actually is minute approval from January 12th. Board members, did you receive and have a chance to read the minutes?
Yes.
Any comments or corrections?
Nope.
Motion to accept the minutes from January 12th, 2026. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have two written decisions to approve tonight. The first one's for Walden Manor LLC at 16 Gin Lane. Alice, do you want to top line us on it?
Yep, this was a COA to construct an accessory building. The board members reviewed the principles of compatibility to determine if the structure was consistent with the contributing resource. And after much discussion, the board decided that because it would be over 230 feet away from the contributing resource, and the property is very well screened from both Gin Lane and the ocean, and that linden plane trees would be installed around the structure, that the proposed structure shares features of an existing greenhouse because it's round and composed of glass and metal, that it meets the principles of compatibility and is appropriate for the historic district.
Board members, did you receive the written decision?
Yeah.
Have a chance to review. Any questions or comments? Okay, so I'm going to move to approve the written decision for 16 Gin Lane. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Then we have a second written decision for 437 Hill Street, or 437 Street LLC. Alice, do you want to top line us?
This is a COA for a driveway gate, white with brick piers.
Okay. Board members, did you receive the written decision? Any
Yeah.
questions or comments? Okay, motion to approve the written decision for 437 Hill Street LLC. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So that takes us to, first thing up is actually a driveway gate, but I'm going to move that to the end of the agenda. So that takes us to a demo eval for 30 Little Plains Road. Is the applicant here? The computer's there, just talk really loud and we're going to hope for the best.
Okay, see you, your architect.
Okay. Board members, did you all receive and read the historic report from Zach Student?
Yes.
Okay. Any comments or questions or discussion?
Yeah. It was pretty straightforward as far as I could tell.
Okay. My assessment is it is not in the historic district, and although it is an older house, that there's nothing about the property that would lead us to want to. Our option would be to recommend it for landmarking. Is this a house that anyone would recommend landmarking?
No.
Okay, so based on this report, I'm going to motion that the Board of Architecture review will not seek landmark status for 30 Little Plains Road. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Because what that means is if we choose not to landmark it because it's not in the historic district, that gives the building department, the building inspector, the right to write a demo for it. Okay, so there you go. Can we close that?
Yes.
Okay, so that takes us down to public hearings, historic carryover matters. The first being the Village of Southampton and the freeholders and commonality of the town of Southampton for the Gin Lane Lake Agawam COA to install plantings. Okay. Now, if I'm correct, you're going to tell us where you're at. You're going to get sort of an opinion of the board, but then we're going to hold over and not be able to actually vote on this until next meeting, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So the computer's there, so do me a favor, just speak really loudly. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Matt Jedlicka from McLean Associates.
Joseph McLaughlin, town trustee.
Yes, sir.
So we were here in December 8th last year to present the project that the town trustees had undertaken at the south end of Lake Agawam, and the comments at the time were we didn't have renderings, which we brought some renderings, and that the light fixtures, that you didn't like the light fixtures. So we discussed it with the village and selected the light fixtures that are the current village standard, which is North Sea Road has a bunch of new ones. In your packet, you should have the light fixture. It's actually known as the Southampton Village light fixture. So those are the light fixtures that are proposed.
Did you actually buy them from the village? They're the warehouse ones, warehouse fixtures that we
No.
gave to the village. You
No.
had to buy new ones.
No.
Because I
No.
thought we carried some back stuff.
So
We had to order new ones.
yeah, these are new. I think the village
Yeah,
had
the,
recently purchased maybe 30 of them or something like this, but these are new.
The town parks might be taking one of the ones that we bought for the one that we bought that you guys didn't like. So that's the good part about it. So that's a good trade.
So they found a home elsewhere.
Yeah, hopefully.
Potentially,
In the village?
yeah,
Well, they're not going to be in the village.
Good.
So
probably.
Great.
Anthony
I'll have to
Bays
hear
or
that.
someone in the town.
the
That's good.
village does have like,
All right.
you
Okay.
know, there's a whole mixture of
looked.
light fixtures,
I
but
know what it is.
yeah.
So
Um,
board members, they're correct. The two things we asked for is a rendering to understand what it looked like, and the light fixtures. Those are my notes from the last meeting a month ago, or the last time you were here. Any comments or from the board?
I just wanted to question what exactly was being planted.
Okay, so it's a whole host of different type of native species. We have there's plug plantings like swamp milkweed, New York aster, blue wild indigo, Joe pie weed, coneflower, goldenrod. There's some ornamental grasses like saltgrass, switchgrass, and little blue stem. There's some shrubs like inkberry, Hollywood juniper, which was something that had been requested by the village. It's right across the street at the Dune Church. That's a Hollywood juniper. So some of that in the open area on the eastern side. And then a bunch of deciduous stuff like Arctic fire dogwood, winterberry, northern bayberry, beach plum, Virginia rose, and high bush blueberry.
Okay. This doesn't look like any of those.
No, it does not, and I apologize.
Whoa.
So
It's,
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
because-
I
you
guess
know,
it begs the question: if those are the things you're planning, why doesn't that look like in the rendering?
because the rendering was done in the office, and you know, I guess we didn't have access to some of those plantings, you know, in the computer rendering. So we're, you know, we're working for the trustees, had previously been hired to, you know, basically put the project out to bid, do that whole thing. So, you know, the rendering was something that got thrown on us, you know, during this meeting. So we did what we could to try to, you know, make it look as close as we could make it look.
Board members, any other comments?
I guess not, for me. He is?
Do we have an ETA?
Say about 20 minutes.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay, is there anything more that you want to see from the applicant before you'd be ready to approve it?
No, this is not my job, but you took out the median strip. And I think it makes it entirely more dangerous for people with small children or any pedestrian. Because now you can't walk in front of the cars, you can only walk behind them. I know that it's too late for that, I'm just putting that out, that is a concern of mine. And it's unfortunate that that was done.
Okay. So I guess our choice is here to adjourn this, or is there any public comment in the room?
What would happen if they just waited a little?
Well, I was gonna say you could adjourn it till later.
20 minutes from now.
Okay.
How's that?
I do have a question for Alex. So the guardrail down there adjacent to the lake is in pretty bad shape. I'm curious to know, does that fall into this board's jurisdiction to replace that guardrail or no? Or what's your view on that?
The guardrail? I have to look into that. I don't think that's been contemplated before.
That's some part. However, it's in bad shape, so I know Matt's aware of that. So that'd be a separate application. But I'm just curious to know if that would be part would come under the jurisdiction of this board if it would be replaced.
I suppose it would depend if it was classified as a structure.
It's a guardrail, so
Right.
Safety
No.
feature that has to meet like probably DOT standards. I doubt the board could vary its appearance.
okay.
You think? No,
Or is it going to be part of the next presentation?
So it's just a
I
discussion
don't think
because
we have
it's
any control. The state does it, doesn't it?
it's gonna eventually have to be replaced, and that was the one question my board had, and also Matt, I know you're kind of aware of it too. So that was again, it's not part of this project, but it's soon to have to be replaced at some point. So
And would it be replaced with what's there now?
that's the that's the cost question with my board. So that's why I'm bringing it to you guys, so we're not caught.
It would likely be replaced in kind.
Yeah,
It can't be any sort of treated lumber.
correct.
So it would likely be some sort of tropical hardwood, something like that.
I mean, my board did discuss putting a metal guardrail up, but we wanted to. We're still going back for that cost and talking to the village about
This is a big
aesthetics.
curve.
It's
No,
on the water side.
Oh, the wooden.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
the
you
wooden,
you
yeah.
can't drive into the lake. It's just
It's
that
falling apart.
guardrail in the parking lot.
That's in really bad.
It
shape.
is, and that's why I'm asking the question to the
And
board.
unsightly, I would say.
Yes.
Well, I guess one of my questions would be, is the replacing that rail part of this?
No, it's
That's
not
what
that
everyone's
bad.
saying.
Yeah.
That's why.
No.
Well,
But
that,
it's the town, right?
Right, but it's in
Okay.
the village.
right. That doesn't sound like it's a problem that's ours to solve.
No,
So
it's
what's,
not.
what's in front of us is to approve or not approve the changes that you're making.
Yeah.
In the park.
In the parking lot, the change and replacement of the railing that's not yet determined and not yet designed and not yet in front of us doesn't
Right.
sound like it's ours.
I guess
I-
Joe's
I'm-
question is, will that be required to come before you in order
Yes.
to replace that railing?
That is a question for the building department.
Yeah, like I said, it's not something that I've thought about before, so we're going to look into it a little bit more
Okay.
before giving you an answer. I can tell you that things that are typically normal repair and replace are not subject to review by this board if there's no change in appearance.
Okay.
So that's something to
Understood, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So if you'd like,
We can wait 20 minutes.
wait
and
20
just-
minutes
yeah.
and when Sage gets here and comes back online, we can reopen this for public comment,
Okay,
if there is any. And then perhaps we can get some sort of decision tonight.
okay,
Great.
perfect.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you.
Is that a real 20 minutes?
No, You wanna adjourn for the 30 minutes?
Yeah, I think we should just adjourn, have people come up and present, and then have to present again so people could comment. Doesn't make much sense to me. So I think it makes more sense to adjourn for 20 minutes or 30 minutes. Let's say get here and set up and then reopen the meeting.
In the whole thing?
Yeah, just taking a 30-minute adjournment right now.
We can't just put them down and bring them back up?
Can't we just,
Well, if you bring them back up, they have to
I
represent, so
understand,
people,
you're right, you're right.
I mean, because you're gonna come up and present, and then they're gonna have to represent to the people that are on camera. That doesn't make any sense. to me.
okay, that's a bummer.
Alice, do you disagree?
I'm trying to think if there's anything we could do.
Is there anything on the work session that
Or
might require?
should we just say come back at?
Okay, you know what, I'm just gonna motion to adjourn the meeting, and let's reopen it at 7, and we'll just start an hour late.
For which we apologize profusely.
Either way, it's gonna take us more time to represent everything twice,
Yeah,
I think,
he's
for these
right.
poor people than. All right, motion to do I motion to recess?
Yeah.
Okay, motion to recess the February 9th meeting for the Southampton Village Board of Architecture Review and Historic Preservation till 7 p.m. to reopen at 7 p.m. Is there a second?
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Aye. All right. Just have people come up and present and then
Is
present
anyone
again.
here on 3 Pheasant Close? 3 Pheasant Close.
Yeah.
Do you wanna come up or do you want me to shout to you?
Motion to reopen the February 9th meeting of the Southampton Village Board of Architectural Review and Historic Preservation. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we're back up. Okay, so let's go back to where we were, which is the Village of Southampton Freeholders. You want to come up, please? And just top line us on the project. We'll see if we have any public comment or any other comments from board members.
That was good that you adjourned, it worked out. Congratulations, it's a big mountain. Really? Actually, I went and looked at it today.
So good evening, Board. I'm Matt Jedlicka from McLean Associates, here on behalf of the Town of Southampton trustees, Joe McLaughlin, Town trustee. And this is for the trustees parking lot on the south end of Lake Agawam. And as we discussed before, bioswale planting, you had requested the rendering, which we brought a rendering, and requested that we change the lights, and we selected the lights that the village uses. I did in the packet, take a photo of one of the lights on North Sea Road, which is typical of what the village of Southampton is now using as their standard light, which that is what we're proposing to use here at the project.
Okay. Board members, any further comments?
I would just like to say in the future, it would be really helpful if the rendering had any accuracy to what was really being.
Okay, understood.
Thanks.
Do you have an actual planting plan?
Yes, it should, well, it's, I don't know if it's in your packet. There is, the bid plans that the town has a full planting plan, which should be in the packet from the original time that we came before you.
Okay.
I think it's sheet 18 of 19 is one of the planting
I don't
plans.
In this
have the old
package?
one.
Yeah,
Forget it.
and you're looking at a smaller version of it, but
Yeah.
yes, that's the planting plan.
Can we put that up? Can that go on the screen?
No one can read it, of course.
And those were the plants that I had read through earlier, as far as all native species, various types, plug plantings, ornamental grasses, shrubs, and some deciduous plantings.
Okay. Are there any other comments from the public? Okay. Comes down, folks, are you comfortable from the written plan, or do you want to see another rendering? Are you comfortable to vote on this from the updated plan?
As long as there are going to be plants that you have listed, as long as those are are going to be planted, I'm fine with it, as long as they're indigenous.
Yep.
Okay.
This also was approved by the mayor. So the mayor actually was working with myself on this for the last few months, so he is fully aware of the
Okay.
plans, and he was actually
Okay.
a part of this whole process.
Okay.
Yeah, but the mayor doesn't approve the plan.
Yeah.
Right. In fact,
Right.
All right.
yeah.
So, are you comfortable voting on it from what you have?
Yes.
Okay. So then I'm going to motion to approve,
Written
to move to written
decision.
decision, the application for the Village of Southampton, the freeholders and commonality of the town of Southampton for the Gin Lane Agawam project. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Progress.
Okay, so speaking of villages, next up is the Village of Southampton, 23 Main Street.
Oh.
You'll start by stating your name.
Sure, my name is Pete D. Pasquale.
Okay. And the last time you were here, there were some concerns about the back of the building, and you're going to tell us what the changes are.
That's right. Am I able to share? Thank you.
Okay?
All right. I think I might have dueling microphones. No, okay. Okay. I'm here to present an addition to the back of Southampton Village Hall. This addition is coupled with a project to renovate the third floor of the building, which is currently demolished and for village use, offices, conference spaces, and the like. Our previous proposal, I'm having a little trouble. The previous proposal was noted for its cold and institutional windowless exterior. We were advised to consider the same color and material palette as the existing front facade of the building. And we were informed the proposal should represent the Village of Southampton, in particular, emphasizing its upscale and friendly qualities. There were members of the public and the board that suggested we carve out parking spaces, which were previously attempted to be preserved in favor of landscape buffer or trees. And we took that advice. We seriously examined and responded to the comments. We carefully studied the existing Main Street facade, particularly the details of the ornamental keystones, the brick arches, and the pilasters and trim around the openings. The Main Street facade is the historic centerpiece of the building, and it is important for our process to not directly mimic that facade, but present a rear facade that fit appropriately in terms of hierarchy. We also looked at some of the more subtle details of the sides of the original building, and that included some recessed brick paneling between windows, and then also a different language of brick header. The plan, as you see it now, before there was previously a vestibule and an overhang and a lift. The lift has been relocated. There is no longer an interior vestibule, but an entry porch, which I'll show you in the 3D. There are two sets of stairs to denote entry from the main parking lot and then also from the Southampton Arts Center. We provided a large planter here in front to show, to have a real significant tree to also help knock down the facade.
Is that what you're reading from?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
There were, existing, there are 4 parking spots, and we've reduced that down to 2 handicap accessible spots. So what we're providing now is a small plaza. It denotes entry from the multiple directions. We've introduced a bit of signage similar to the front of the building. The meeting hall is lighter in tone and brought into the conversation and material the tone of the existing elements of the building. We've introduced windows where they're appropriate, where you can see where you can get light. You'll see further in the slides that this whole addition is that egress fire stair, and the configuration of the stair conflicts with windows that would be here in the second floor. So we provided a brick panel recess detail similar to what we see on the original building. It's the approach from the other way. There's the stair conflict where the landing between floor 2 and floor 3 would be directly in that window, and the stringer of in conflict with the window there. It seemed that keeping the scale, the rhythm, the detail was appropriate and also helped to distinguish it from other parts of the building. That is our approach. We're hoping that this represents a positive step forward and that we can build some momentum towards trying to establish the overall scope of the project. We also, this came up last time as a question. As part of the project, there are many things happening throughout, improving the fire alarm, the interior stair, 3rd floor offices. But part of it, because it's a security issue, it's an ADA issue, it's a safety issue, we are proposing a replacement for the front door. The original front door was 2 leaves, biparting. That does not work from contemporary ADA code. And so what we've done is interpret that door into a single leaf door that allows for maintenance of the whole staircase as it's been built and the ramp as it was subsequently built. And so that is here. Right there at the front. And we look forward to the board's comments on the proposal.
Board members.
Is the door much smaller?
The
'Cause
door
right now we have like a kind of a double door look, and this looks like just a very traditional.
That's right. So there are 2 2-foot wide sliding panels. This is a single 3-foot door for handicap accessibility purposes. There could be the opportunity to make it a bit wider at the cost of reducing the trim on the sides.
Yeah, I would think a bigger door would be more appropriate.
Listen,
Okay.
a lot of people go in and out of it.
Yep.
I
And
mean,
also, it changes the whole scale with the front of the
kind of
building.
windy.
Right.
Because you have 3 symmetrical openings across the front there.
Yep.
Yeah.
it's just kind of minimizing the
Yeah.
entrance. I would make it a much larger door.
Yep.
And not change any of the original outside trims, moldings, all that's existing.
Yeah, I think the quote unquote existing actually has all been, none of that is original or historic. If we split screen here with the image, with the photograph, you can see that the trim language is actually quite different and changed over time.
So the original door was actually, appears to have been, well, no, yes, it was wider because it was the same as the width as the window.
That's right.
Yeah.
So,
So we can make
No.
it better.
Yeah.
Is it possible to have a single door that mimics that fenestration pattern with the 2 windows?
no.
I think probably, so overall, this is something on the order of 5.5 feet wide, these 2 doors that were here before. And I think one 5-foot wide door would be unwieldy from just a basic
Well-
usability point of view.
What do other buildings have? I mean, I don't know any, I'm not into the
So are you
municipal
suggesting
situation,
it'd be two doors, but they'd be wider?
No, it's one door.
It cannot be 2 doors from a handicap
You're saying-
accessibility
Okay.
point of view. They don't
Is that the
provide
only-
enough width overall.
Is that the
So-
only place for the ADA accessibility?
Yes, and that's part of why we have to do, why we have handicap accessibility at the back. In terms of modern day code, it has to be provided at 66% of all entrances,
So.
a minimum of 66%.
It's not 66% back there? That's too bad. Well, there's gotta be a way to do it. And is,
Okay, so basically what I'm hearing is that the doors being presented here is, this feels too narrow.
yeah,
And if you go back to the original opening width, it's too wide. So you're gonna have to come somewhere between the two of those?
That's right.
Okay.
and what about the brickwork in the new, is that changed
No, nothing is meant to change inside of the masonry
in this
opening.
rendering? Whoa, 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 whoa.
Window.
Is that doesn't look like this, does it?
Yeah, look at it.
Well, I know that.
There's the brick, there's the keystone, there's the,
And then this window exists now, and we
Sorry,
were
where are you pointing?
sorry, the arch
Oh,
over
yes,
here in the
yes.
left-hand photo, that is existing. That is not. You can see that the trim and the size of the lights doesn't match the historic, and I think we absolutely could look to make that arch more similar to the original versus preserving what's there now.
Well, we should see that.
so you're gonna come back and show us a different door option?
Yeah,
That's what
absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. So then you want comments on the back of the building?
Yeah.
Okay, board members, back of the building. So basically what we're expecting is you're gonna come back with an updated treatment of the window to make it look more like the original, and you're gonna come up with a new door treatment in the front that's somewhere between where we are now and where they used to be, that's ADA compliant and is sort of measured between those two options.
Given all of those factors, we figured this would be an incremental process, so we wanted to
No, that's
show
fair,
what we
okay.
had, discuss it with you, and come back to you with a
Great.
response. We're not anticipating to be approved or voted on today.
Okay. All right, then let's go to the back of the building.
Wait, I still haven't got this. So the brick that you show in the door you proposed that we're rejecting, can we go back to that?
Sure. Our intent is to keep all of the brick as we see it today.
So now, that's the door that exists now, correct?
Correct.
Can I see but what you proposed, the actual brickwork around it was much different.
And we can,
There you go. That doesn't look if you look closely, which you can't there, but.
Yep.
There's a kind of decorative stuff going on, no?
in terms of the arch itself,
No,
the patterning.
The actual brickwork, the background, what is around it.
Here's existing.
Yeah, this.
Okay,
Does
so
that
there.
look like that? Absolutely not. No,
Are you changing any of the brickwork?
No,
it's just
It's
dirty?
the rendering.
It's the rendering, because that's,
Okay, well,
there's-
it looks
because there's
very
the-
different to me.
there's the brick
Okay,
pattern, there's
well,
this, and
this
there's,
is
this is the
fuzzy.
same. It's
Okay.
the entablature and the door itself, and the window that they're looking at.
I get that, but I'm looking at,
Yeah,
I'm
but
allowed to look at the
but they're
rest
not-
of it.
They're not, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think
Yeah.
they're changing the
Just
brick.
don't change it.
no, there's no intention to change
Okay.
any of the brick on the front.
Okay, sorry.
Are you
Go
guys
ahead.
gonna do a signage package for this also?
There was not an intention to. No.
Why not? I mean, that's all part of it, isn't it?
But that's a whole, the building itself, the village itself needs an entire signage package
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
from a signage company.
but they're only
I-
asking
yeah.
us now here, so.
Yeah.
Good
But
way
I
to
think
get,
that should be part of this door so that it looks cohesive and has the information that's necessary. It doesn't look like a patchwork. Which it is now.
Okay. Now let's go to the back of the building.
So I have a question. The way that you've rendered it on the back, the windows across with the sort of, I'm gonna say, relief
Yeah.
treatment, is that the same treatment as what's on the third floor now, or are you improvising?
So we have taken.
I see
I'll do a
inspired
side by side. Inspired by is correct. We tried to make it resonate with the scale of the windows, and you can see actually these windows here on the I forget the years, but the Phase 2 building doesn't have a brick header So what we've introduced is the shape and proportion of these windows with the step detail and then with a header detail similar to the existing building. So it's not literally one or the other. That's right. Is the comment primarily about the relief of the brick?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
Like it feels a little bit more refined on the original building and a little bit more heavy-handed, I'm going to say, in the interpretation.
Is it because there's more steps? Because if you look at the original interpretation, it was 2 steps in, and if you look at the second floor here, we've gone 3 steps in versus the third floor, which is 2 steps in. So they're not consistent?
Yeah, something.
Is
Or
that-
it's-
That's right. We
is that one
tried
of the
to
reasons it
distinguish it
looks
so it
heavier?
was not exactly what was here. I think it is an option, and if it seems better, to bring it more precisely into this language in terms of the number of steps. You can see that there's, down here, there's 3 bands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can.
I have to say, I like that you found that little detail up there because it's quite nice.
I can't see
In between. how
it. Yeah,
it's
no,
in
I can
between.
see it, but it's pretty. What about those bricks? Are those imprinted? Are those fancy? Didn't we do this before?
So there's a Flemish bond patterning, and then the short bricks, or a certain number of them, you can see were burned longer to create a darker
Oh,
effect.
no, that doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
There seems to be some, on your version to the right, sir. Are those, is that the same color as? Okay,
The
Same
intention is for the,
pattern,
what the,
same pattern.
in pattern, yeah.
okay, but is it the same color?
Our intention, so we are in the process of procuring bricks and figure that we will have to show you what these bricks are
Yeah,
to evaluate.
Don't get carried away here, we did this with the lights on the last thing.
No, the idea is that this brick feels at home, but we are also acknowledging that it's probably also going to be a little bit different based on what's actually made today. So that's a process that we know we're going to
Okay,
be here talking
thank
to you about.
It's good to know.
I was curious about how many steps up. Why so many steps up? Like right now, it's just you walk into the building. I know there's a ramp there, so you're eliminating that ramp inside.
Yeah, so there are all of the steps that are in the interior here that carry you from the parking lot level up inside. And so now those steps are shifting outside
Okay.
so that you arrive at a door that's on the plane of the first floor of the building.
My other concern is what kind of tree are you going to plant there? Because trees get very large, and that looks very close to the building.
So part of the development that we have to do is the brick selection, the refinement of the details, also a landscape plan. We're
Right,
going to
okay.
need to identify the species and know what that is.
Okay, so
Be-
right now this is just a
It's conceptual.
place card kind of thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
because the project, the project is was primarily meant to make the third floor occupiable. But there are so many issues of the building and trying to make sure we accommodate everything in terms of life safety, the project gets big very quickly. So what we're trying to do is to build some support and then refine things in a way such that it all adds up. So we
Okay.
very much we have to make that
Okay,
real.
yeah, I would definitely keep in
I
mind
know.
what you're planting there.
What is the tall
Pole?
pole? I see on the on what's there now that there's a electrical pole. Is that what we're
This.
talking about here?
That's right.
Okay,
That pole is existing.
I
Correct.
know.
Yep.
Okay.
But, and so is that just making it look, but it's just gonna be a pole like every other pole, is that correct?
So it's a poll unless and until we can find funds or scope to do something else about it.
Like buried electrical wires.
Yeah, good luck.
Or at the very least, to clean it
Pet
down.
project.
We'd all-
We're
I'll-
trying to do whatever
let me
we can
direct
here.
you to my
All right.
street while you're at it, okay?
My only comment about the brickwork is that you've got a 2-step pattern on the third floor, which mimics closer to the original building. And when you take it to the additional step on the second floor, to me, it takes it in a deco direction
Mhm.
that's not as consistent with the building.
Okay.
So I think if you would simplify that and take that one extra step back out, and make it a 2-step instead of a 3-step process,
Mhm.
then I think it would be consistent. I think this entrance is much more appropriate than the last brutalist entry we saw. So I think you've come a long way in sort of understanding better what the need of the building is. And, I sort of understand why you can't have windows on the second floor because you're egress, but you've added them to the third. It's much more compatible and harmonious to the existing building than what we saw last time. So thank you. I think you've made some good progress there. So what I'm understanding is you're going to come back and represent that next time. We're going to see an updated front door situation.
That's right. Front door, more information on brick,
Okay.
refined details, and plans.
Okay. Are there any comments from the public?
Lighting?
Lighting.
Lighting?
Lighting?
Hit a flag back there.
So the lighting was intended to be within this exterior vestibule and to not have any fixtures mounted on the surface of the brick. That is still to be developed in detail, but it seems appropriate not to put light fixtures on the brick.
There's a light pole next to that telephone pole.
Yeah, right here.
Oh,
So there
but
is
it is a
there-
public, I mean, at a certain point, it's dark back there.
Mhm.
All right. It's municipal, I don't
Yeah.
know.
That's a good
Sure, there
question.
are rules about it.
Was there any signage proposed for the band you have above
Well, that's what we're
the
asking.
window there?
Our intention was to do something that mimicked the signage on the front of the building. I'll bring that up.
Where it says AD Southampton 1911?
I believe it just says Southampton.
I think if I'm looking at it, the same one, it says Southampton and then AD on one side, 1911 on the
So
other.
Village Building, and then Southampton. Oh yeah, sorry, the details on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah. And then have you discussed the plans with the fire marshal?
We have extensively, yeah.
Okay, great. Just want to make sure that's incorporated.
So next time we see you, you'll tell us what you're going to put in that signage?
Sure.
Okay. And you'll take the comments about the brick in the rear. You will sort of update the front, and we'll see you again.
Great.
All right.
Thank you. It
Thanks
looks
for your
much
feedback.
better.
Thank you.
It's going to come along.
Thanks.
So I'm going to motion to adjourn the Village of Southampton application for 25 Jobs Lane until February 23rd. 23rd work for you? Are you next meeting?
Oh, for me, it may be after that.
Well,
Okay,
tell you what, let's do. Let's adjourn it to the February 23rd.
Yes.
And then if you're ready, great. If not, we can
That
move
sounds
it
great.
forward.
Thank
That way
you.
we can keep it moving for you.
Very good. Thank you.
Because I know we're a month in from the last meeting. So, all right. Is there a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. So that brings us to new matters historic. The first one is 262 Pond Lane for a demolition of a single-family dwelling and detached garage.
We have the affidavits and they're in order.
Good evening, John Bennett for the applicant. And with me are Jean Marie Hazelton, who's the owner of Susan Bates's lawyer. Oliver Cope has been retained by contract vendee for his, as an architect, but just also has a long history in historic preservation. And we do have a report from Zach Studenlaw. So this is a request to demolish an existing residence at 262 Pond Lane. It's an unusual parcel. I took some photographs only to demonstrate that the property had been posted. So,
Yeah.
I don't think it was posted today. Maybe.
No, it wasn't posted today. It was posted. the
No, I'm
original
saying there's
hearing
no
was-
posting now, is what I'm saying. I
Well,
think.
that's irrelevant. It was posted as required by the statute prior to the first meeting.
I'm sorry, John. If a board member has a question, it's not irrelevant. Please don't address it as
No,
irrelevant, but
if
you may
my
answer it.
response is
But you may be
legally
answered
is
nicely.
irrelevant. I can answer it, but I
Okay.
also have to put the law out there. These are not jurisdictional matters, by the way. The only time that is a jurisdictional matter for
I think it also
notice
just
is-
goes to how you speak to board members, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Sometimes a response regarding what the law is clinical.
There's a what and a how, but let's go ahead.
I just wanted to point out, it was very hard to find the house today, to look at it, because that sign is no longer there. That was my point.
And-
That's all.
Okay, all right. But I appreciate that,
Yeah.
but I just wanted to point out that it doesn't create any jurisdictional problems.
I didn't insinuate that it did.
Okay, thank you. Then, to the extent that I thought that's where you were going.
No.
And
I
I
was
was too
just-
forceful, Jane, my apologies.
No problem.
Maybe if somebody else had asked, I wouldn't have been so apologetic. in any event. What's interesting about these photographs, in addition to showing the sign was posted, it's an unusual parcel. It's on the north side of Pond. No, it's on the south side of Pond Lane.
It's on the south side.
And all the property is not a flag lot. It has the aspects of a flag lot, a very broad, wide flag lot. You can see that in the survey, which is part of the application. So, here's Pond Lane, and the property was posted up here, as the photograph shows. And this sort of looks like a flag, but it's really not a flag lot because it has the appropriate amount of frontage on Pond Lane. It necks down as you travel approximately 400 feet to the south. And then, significantly, the building is not at all visible from the street and is in the back part of the property. The parcel, this building is now located in an area where the rear yard and the front yard overlap, so there's really no as of right place to construct. It's not listed as a contributing structure. It made it through a couple of updates without being listed as a contributing structure. It doesn't have a blue sheet. And we did retain Zach Studenroth to perform an architectural assessment. And it is a significantly bastardized and stepped on, as I like to say, old auto house, which means that it was a garage at one point with some living quarters on the top. Not unusual. But I think Zach's findings are succinct enough and to the point that I'll just read them there. He was hoping to be here to present it, but I think he says what he has to say. The architectural feature that may best associate the existing building with the former garage is an oversized multi-paneled window that occupies the end wall, which likely served as an opening for the garage door. The removal of this distinctive element, which is now converted into a large window, contributes to the overall loss of architectural integrity. Compromising the building further is the increase in size of the massing, with the additions of one story constructed to the south and to the west. So that's to the west, and then to
John,
the south.
could you turn it the other way there?
Oh, sorry about that. I keep on getting confused on which way the camera is supposed to be. So the addition to the west, and then to the south, which increased the footprint and transformed the building from its original use and appearance as a garage into a residence. Then Zach notes the installation of paired French-type doors replaced the fenestration of the original building, and the construction of an overscaled brick chimney against the north elevation removed any resemblance to the utilitarian garage that was built to serve. In summary, the small accessory structure has been transformed and altered in appearance with the removal of characteristic features and construction of additions to extensions, French-type doors, brick chimney. The alterations have effectively eradicated any historical and architectural integrity of the building, which, assuming there is any, because again, it's been through this survey and an update never had a blue sheet. Now, I know that you did make a code change some time ago regarding whether or not your jurisdiction evaporates if it can't be seen from the street. But nevertheless, one of the elements that you look at is whether or not the building represents an established and familiar visual feature of the community by virtue of its unique location or physical characteristics, an established and familiar visual feature of the community. So you cannot see it from the street. So even if that doesn't have the former jurisdictional effect, it certainly does also, it has to be read into the criteria. There's no evidence that there's any architect of significance, any historic personage. I certainly would think it would be hard-pressed to say that this exemplifies some special character, or historic, or aesthetic interest, as value. So it doesn't rise to any of what the sort of markers that you would see to suggest that there's anything under your jurisdiction or code or criteria, or the very rationale for the creation of the historic district that would command its preservation. It simply has no significance, really, based upon the criteria that you would look at. And it's been, in what I like to say, because it may not be what an architectural historian would choose to describe it, but it's been stepped on an awful lot. And it doesn't even have the charm of what would be an original accessory building. Probably the best example is that wonderful accessory building, 88 Gin Lane, which, as you know, other than the addition, is going to be wonderfully preserved.
Yes.
But this has been, I mean, that probably looks pretty much like it did when it was first built, not so. And that is that's a significant feature of Gin Lane. I'm saying it by contrast. This has never been part of the fabric. Any thoughts, Oliver? Or?
You may or may not remember, but I did 252.
Can you use the microphone, please?
Yeah, I did the renovation of 252 First Neck, and 260 as well, though 260 doesn't have any age to it. It just was a series of tweaks to make it better. Daisy Fields, which was 252, this accessory structure, in reading Zach's report, was actually part of that lot. So I'm intimately familiar with 252 Daisy Fields, and this doesn't have, for me, any resonance, even though it was originally part of that property, because it's so different from where 252 was originally and is now.
Okay. Board members.
I thought Zach's report was pretty convincing.
Agree.
It's such a weird, wacky.
I just
lot.
need to know more. I feel like it's a conflict with Zach doing the reporting.
Why is there a conflict?
Well, normally, the conflict is normally somebody comes in, they give us a property, then we hire Zach to represent us.
I know that,
The
but I've seen Zach.
But the conflict is when you hire Zach, normally we would go hire a different historic for our own research and process. I think that's the conflict that she would be
understand.
representing.
I had that conversation. It's an unusual, admittedly an unusual arrangement, but I have seen Zach here on many occasions being retained by the applicant. We pay for his work anyway, regardless of whether or not the village hires him or he's the applicant. I
Right.
think he's been, what has in his reports are pretty objective facts, though.
I'm not debating that. I'm saying our normal circumstance here
I
is,
understand.
like, we've never had someone come in and say, hey, this is an old house, it's in great shape, we absolutely love it, we just don't want it anymore, and we're going to throw it away. Everybody comes in and tells us it's horrible, it's been stepped on, we're going to tear. No one's ever done that. That's why normally when someone comes in with a report, we want our own independent report to match it to where, we're making a decision based on our own asked for information. That's what Jane is referring to.
Well, I guess
To
the only
that end, then that's no comment about Zach, because Zach's work is great. That's why
Yeah,
we
it's great.
normally hire him. But that's, I think, what Jane is referring to.
Yeah, I just feel a little mixed about it. I also think that although you can't see it from the street, it's an adorable cottage. Like, how old is that chimney? Do we have? I know the chimney is an add-on, but how old is that chimney?
Well, so the initial analysis here is for the board to determine if this is a contributing structure, because it sounds like so far it has not been classified as such.
It has not been.
Well, it's a contributing structure to the house that's still there.
No, that's contributing structure is a term of art.
So the definition in the code of a contributing resource is any building, structure, object, or site within the boundaries of the district that contributes to its historic or cultural associations, is designed by a noted architect, historic or architectural qualities, or archaeological qualities of a historic district.
Right,
So
well,
it would have
maybe
to
I'm
rise to that
misunderstanding.
standard.
I thought that we were being told that it was part of 252 originally.
No, it's not clear whether it's part of 252 or the
I'm
property.
sorry,
to the-
but I
the
thought
property
that
to the
that's
east.
what was
That is what Oliver
insinuated.
said, and Oliver and I have had a conversation about that. I disagree. It's not clear whether or not it was part of 252 or the property to the east fronting on Agawam, because the only thing that Zach was able to locate of any age was the photo that's hanging outside. It's pretty accurate, but not on this picture, and he puts it in his report, but it's not terribly clear as it relates to this because of its size. It's so small. It's the everyone's familiar with the map. It hangs on the west. I think the wall.
The great big aerial map, yes.
And that's the only thing he has it on page 3 of his report. So it's unclear to me, because we don't have, it's not a survey, which it was part of. But contributing is a term of art, as everyone knows. And I guess.
So if
There
I
was-
could just jump in for a second, John.
Sorry,
So
Alice.
just keep in mind, like, you know, tonight we approved officially 16 Gin Lane, right? Very clearly, the house is a contributing structure. And you apply the principles of compatibility for the new structure that was proposed and how it affected that contributing structure. That accessory structure does not become a contributing structure. It would have to be a contributing structure in its own right.
And while I understand, I'm not poo-pooing your concern, Jane or Mark's, about the fact that Zach often works for the board, I don't think there's any.
I think the real truth of the matter is there are very few people that do what Zach does. So, you know, we could go find someone to do our own report, but I think that would hold you up, so. But that's for procedurally for us, this is out of kilter.
I thought he had a lot of
Yeah, I don't disagree with what he has to
facts.
say.
And, I mean, actual maps and things, I mean, it really was pretty complete, which isn't always true.
Just for going forward, is it the preference for the board for me not
Yes.
to retain him? Okay, that's a really.
That's good.
Or
Okay.
discuss it with us ahead of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
I
when
don't-
you're
I don't wanna
paying
take-
someone
yeah.
to write a report, I think that no matter what, with human psychology, they may, I have a hard time with it.
Really?
so.
That's the person that we.
I understand
We
it, but
have
when
to
you're
pay 'em
being
anyway.
paid by someone else,
Okay.
I'm just saying,
your
that's what
argument.
bothers me, if I'm entitled to my opinion.
No,
Yes.
I think she's just raising that there is an appearance of possible impropriety that we want to be careful with.
I understand.
Right.
Thank you.
understand. I would
Okay.
just add that I think that the facts are so stark in this instance, it's not as problematic, but I hear what you're saying, and it won't
So,
happen again.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay.
good.
So right now, this is not a contributing structure in the historic district. It's
Well,
not
it has
listed
no
as such.
status.
What?
It has no status, that's what the board
Okay,
has
so
to
we have
determine.
to determine if we want to make it.
If
so-
you have to determine whether it's contributing or non-contributing.
Well, it's just you can't demolish a contributing resource without a replacement structure, and they're not proposing one, so it changed the way you review the application.
If we made it a contributing structure.
Indeed.
Okay. Where do you come out on this?
It's tough. But at the same time, I feel like Zach's report is pretty thorough.
I think, I'm not the historic consultant. I'm
Right.
believing him. How's that? I read the report.
So what I'm
There's a
hearing,
lot
what
of
I'm hearing is,
evidence, yes.
based on what you've read in
I
Zach's
think
report, you're
it's too
comfortable.
bad, but
Okay.
that's the way it goes.
But is there nothing else proposed?
Well,
We have
that,
to.
here's the thing is, if we determined it was a contributing structure, then they would have to show us what they intend to replace it with. Right now, we don't have to do that because it's not a contributing structure, if I'm following procedure and hearing Alice
Correct.
correctly. Okay, so I'm sort of the belief on this one that it has been altered a lot of times and its original process is there, so I would actually not necessarily be comfortable making it a contributing structure, is where I come out on it.
Okay.
But I think we should hear from the public. Any comments from the public? Okay, so Counselor, what is the motion here?
So are you saying that you want to like separate out a vote? Because I wouldn't do that. First, I would also decide on the demolition.
What? I'm sorry, Alice. I
We're
didn't
lost.
understand.
Did I say that wrong? You're proposing to demolish the house, right?
Yes.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So what would be?
Are you willing to demolish it? Like, is that okay with you? I mean, I understand that you are leaning towards this is not a contributing structure.
Right, we're leaning towards not a contributing structure,
Okay.
in which case I would, in my opinion, and then I would be okay with demolishing it.
Okay, all right, very good. So then you can just move to written decision.
Okay, to demolish.
Indeed.
Okay, just gotta make sure. Okay, so I'm gonna motion to approve, to close,
For a written.
what am I doing here?
Close the record for a written decision.
Close record of written decision to allow the demolition of 262 Pond Lane.
Because it's not a contributing
Because it is not a
structure.
contributing structure, it does not qualify as a contributing structure in the village of Southampton. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
I'm opposed.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, there you go.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
All right, well, that's a tricky one. All right, so that takes us down to,
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be in front of the board for the very first time.
that's okay.
I've had my law office in the village in 1992,
And now here you are.
yeah, I am. and it's
Well,
great
you're
to
welcome to join us, Jean.
spend. Thank you so much. It's actually
Thank you.
very interesting. Was it? Oh, I'm so glad you know, the other
Excellent.
thing,
Well, we
everybody's
like-
comments and so forth. I enjoyed it.
Okay, next up is 70 Main Street. We're going to take jurisdiction on 70 Main Street, but because 70 Main Street involves changing a storefront of a historic building, and we're going to send it out to Zach Studenroth for a historic report and make a decision. The applicant's request to adjourn, for an adjournment on the application for 70 Main Street to March the 9th.
Oh.
So I'm going to motion to accept the applicant's request for an adjournment for 70 Main Street to March 9th. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Which brings us now to the Village of Southampton Arts Center.
We have the affidavits and they're in order.
Oh, this is this thing.
Good evening, board members. CMX Sami, Southampton Art Center, board member, village residents and architects. With me is Justin Bianson from LaGuardia Design Group. This is our second presentation to you. In our previous ARB presentation, we submitted the master plan, all the flat works. We got our approval at that meeting. At that point, we did mention to the ARB that for any structures above ground, we're going to be coming back to the ARB with details, and that's what we are today in front of you to present those details on certain elements of that landscape. There's 2 points I would like to bring that are a modification from what was approved last. Number one, we did go to the fire marshal, and the fire marshal required us to increase the size of the driveway coming from the parking to the courtyard, to the big courtyard. Originally, it was a 15-foot wide driveway, and the fire marshal is requiring a 20-foot wide driveway, which we did do so. What you see here in front of you, is this the revised, Justin?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the
So
revised
this is
copy.
the revised. So this driveway that you see over here was increased by 5 foot to a 20-foot to adhere to the fire marshal's requirement. The second item that is a change from the original approved application is that is a old linden on the northwest corner of the property, which we were proposing to relocate, replant about 10 feet further north. Upon further looking at the plans of the amphitheater that we're presenting to you today, we decided not to move that tree. So being that it's an old tree, we just didn't want to jeopardize.
You're just going to leave well enough alone and leave it there.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. So these are the two changes from the approved plan previously. And from there on, I'm going to walk you through the different elements that are basically the structures.
I can share the screen if,
yeah, if you could share
given
the screen.
the ability.
So again, what you're looking at is the proposed landscape plan. Let's move on to the next page. Let's go to the next page. Okay. I don't think you have. I don't think you're up there.
Is it not?
No.
Do you have a lag?
So what's it saying?
So go to the one with the highlights.
Yep.
There we go. So these are the highlighted areas where we're going to be discussing today in our new application. First, of course, it was the driveway that was increased by 5 feet to 20 feet wide. On both ends of that driveway, there are brick piers, entry gate posts. I'm going to, in the next page, walk you through the details of that. We are also introducing the 3 steps, which is the amphitheater to the west of it. This plays into the natural grading of the site at the moment. There are wooden steps, 3 steps right now, small 5-foot wide step, which we're basically expanding it into the arches of this amphitheater built into the natural grade. And then we're also introducing, presenting the details of the fountain, the coping of the fountain and the areas around it. And lastly, the sculpture garden, which is basically a circular brick seating all around with a sculpture on a stone pedestal at the center of it. These are the 3 items in front of you today.
Okay.
Let's move on to the next application. On the next page. Here's the fountain, the circular fountain. The fountain is about 20 feet wide in its diameter. The coping is a stone coping, carved chamfered on the corners, and it's pretty much flush with the grading. We have a couple of seatings on the angles, as you can see, and 3 steps going up to the brick terrace that is off of the west wing of the original wing of the Southampton Art Center. Show me the coping. There we go. There's the coping, stone coping, which is very similar to the coping that we used on the eastern fountain, which was restored and renovated back in 2011.
Sammy, do me a favor, pull that mic a little closer.
Yes.
Thank you.
Moving on. By the way, the fountain does have a jet at the center of it. We did have a water feature jet from the original fountain, and we're reintroducing that in this new fountain. Moving on, the amphitheater steps. These are brick steps, 18-inch wide. They're using 2 soldier courses and a return in the center. They're basically die into the natural grade on the sides, and these are providing deep seating basically for people to lay down blankets and watch movies or presentations and so on at the stage, which would be underneath the linden tree. These are 3 steps with a 2-person slope, 6-foot typical depth between steps for seating and walking. And lastly, let's move on to. These are the
brick posts by the entry from the parking. We very much were inspired by the existing Flemish bond of the brickwork on Job's Lane. We're using the same thing. There's a soldier course at the baseline and a soldier course at the cap of it. The corners of the brick posts are chamfered, similar. Actually, I mean, it's inspired by the entries. It's not exactly a post on the Job's Lane, but we're inspired by that. You can see the rendering of it below with a plate, with a bronze plate of the Southampton Art Centre's name plate in there. And the cap is cast stone, cast concrete with pebbles, again mimicking the existing caps on all the Job's Lane brickwork. When we restored this wall back in 2014, we actually replaced a number of these caps. And at that point, our challenge was to match it, and it worked out pretty good. So we're going to be very much matching exactly the same finish and colors. By the way, we have located what we call the brick swell belly bricks. These were back in production way back. They're not existent anymore. On one of my jobs, we found a few pallets up in Chicago. We finished that job, and there were some extras left, which I sent it to the village's storage site, and we have that. And these are going to be using exactly that same old swell belly bricks.
That's great.
To match the old look of the grounds. The other four posts which are around the courtyard are much shorter. The ones on the street is 6 foot tall. The ones around the courtyard are
3 foot.
3 foot, which is basically the same height as the evergreen hedge that encloses that brick courtyard, which you can see. Again, Flemish bond, and at the cap you have a soldier course running. And let's move on. And lastly, this is the sculpture garden. We have this sculpture from the original collection of Mr. Parrish out here. It's going to be sitting on a drum-like stone base, which we still have not located and designed. One of the hopes that we have, we're still looking around, is to match the Caesar's basis, which is basically a column with a base, and it's capped. At this point, this is a minimalistic one, which works quite well, but if I do find a column at that size, which I'm looking around, I may use that, because that will give us a little bit of a base. And surrounding this is a circular seating, again using Flemish bond, same type of brick. This is not the historic swell belly brick. We don't have enough of it to use that, but we're using two types of brick color to kind of mimic that old look. And the cap of it, the seating of it is also brick. That's the extent of our proposal. You have also specifications on some lighting, both for the posts at the north entry, and some lighting is worked into the underside of the brick at the amphitheater steps. So you don't see the source of it, you just see the projection of it.
Okay, thank you. Board members?
I think it looks great. I'm all excited. When's it going to get finished?
We've
We need it.
basically started,
you did?
and we started as far as purchasing of the bricks, lining up all the contractors. We need one more week for this snow to melt, and
I
we're
think it'll
starting.
take
It lips to
longer.
God's ears that it's 1 week.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're gonna,
Because we have a
It's
lot
been
of
tough.
work
Yeah.
between now and early spring when we're
Yeah.
starting our next show. So we have a very tight schedule, but we're pushing ahead.
Jane?
Yeah, I think it looks great. I'm excited to hear that you're renovating and.
So are we. I mean,
Yeah, I think it's a beautiful enhancement. It's great. Are there any comments from the public? Okay, and I'm going to motion to move to written decision to accept the application for Southampton Art Center, 25 Jobs Lane, based on drawings presented on February 9th. Is there a second?
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Okay, so that brings us up to 393 Hill Street. Do you have the affidavits, and are they in order?
Yes and yes.
We may need to unmute our architect who's on Zoom, Meg.
Okay. Why don't you guys start by introducing yourselves to the record?
Sure. I'm Allison Lively.
I'm Mark Fanischel.
Great, thank you.
What's your architect's name?
Meg Neuro.
Do you see her?
Is he coming?
Hi, can you hear me? There we go.
There we go. Yes, can you introduce yourself for the record, please?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. My name is Magnary Mayel. I'm the architect of record for Allison and Mark for their single-family residence at 393 Hill Street.
Okay.
Okay. So is it all right if I share my screen, or are you sharing it?
No, why don't you share your screen? That'd be great.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's the easiest. All right, are you able to see?
No.
Not yet.
No.
There's a lag.
Okay, there it is.
There we go.
Now we see.
Okay, great. So I'm sure you have all the drawings in front of you. I apologize if you're looking at the 11 by 17 sheets. It might be a little hard to read since those are printed at half size. So basically, Allison and Mark are requesting some minor additions to the exterior of their home, as well as the addition of a new driveway gate at the front of the property. So it's set back a little bit from the property line to align with the center line of the existing hedge. And I will jump ahead to Exhibit 1, which we submitted, which is an elevation of the driveway gate. As you can see, we fully intend
I'm sorry,
to...
can I ask you to take us through the house first and then we'll do the gate?
Okay. Home first, then...
Yeah, because
then
it
site.
helps to
Okay.
know how the gate relates to the house, so let's look at the house and then we can talk about the gate.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I'll jump ahead to the actual home, which you can see sits quite far from the street. It's not particularly visible, and it's kind of on the rear of the property. So here's the existing Hill Street facing east, and then we have the driveway kind of at the entrance with the existing hedge here. So the driveway gate will align right here, and you can kind of make out the home in the back. And then this is a photo facing where the gate would be along here to align with existing vegetation. This is the existing front facade, which there will be no changes to. The proposed renovations to the home include a dormer on this portion of the house on the north elevation and kind of on this area, and then an addition of a window on the east. The kitchen windows, this is the kitchen on the first floor, will be replaced in kind. The roof will also be replaced, however, it's going to be replaced in kind because it's in such poor condition. And then, paint as needed. So I'll go ahead to kind of to the roof plan of the house so you can kind of get an idea of where the dormer is going to be located. In this corner right here, we are not proposing any changes to the existing footprint of the home or additional area. This is currently a dressing room of sorts with some closet space, with a very low ceiling that is not particularly usable. So next are the north and east elevations. The existing is on the top, which you can see matches the photographs. And then the proposed is along the bottom. We are adding an additional window to match the existing window over here. This window, of course, will be replaced in kind. And then you can get an idea of the dormer that we are adding on the north side. And the windows will be painted to match the existing. So we're completely maintaining the historical integrity of the home.
Okay.
Does anybody have any questions regarding?
Well, now go back to the gate, and then we'll just talk about it all. Then we'll just talk about it all at the same time. Okay.
Okay, sounds great. So back to the gate. Here's an enlarged version of the gate, you know, in line with the vegetation. Proportionally, you know, it matches the height of gates in the area, especially the existing gate next door. It will have two posts that will be clad in similar siding that matches the home. And then two lights at the top of each post, which will be dark sky compliant. We submitted a spec sheet of the proposed lights, which will be custom. And then also a note on transparency for Exhibit 1 that we fully intend to comply with the minimum of 40. What's shown here is about 45%. However, this will be a custom-built gate, but I want to reiterate that we have full intent for compliance.
Thank you. Okay, board members.
Okay. What color is the gate?
White,
White.
to match the house.
Does the window on your new dormer match the window on the far left side of the back facade?
Let me pull it. Yes. I'll pull up the elevation to reference. Yes. Same proportions.
Yeah. Great job putting together cohesive plan here. Looks very good to me. When you said the same material as the house, the pillars on the gate are going to be painted shingle?
Yeah, they're wood shingles,
Okay.
wide planks, yes.
Okay. I think it looks great.
And what's the mechanism for the gate?
Well, maybe Allison and Mark can speak to it. It's supposed to be an automatic.
And you might want a house number on there too.
There's not a gooseneck on it, right?
No, I don't know.
I'm not sure I know what that is.
There's not an external keypad that you drive up and hit.
It's in the post?
No, no.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Any comments from the public?
This isn't on any of our part of historic, is it?
I'm sorry, what?
Is this house listed in historic?
Yes.
As contributing?
It is in the Southampton Village Historic District. We do not have a status on it, whether it's contributing or non-contributing.
It's not listed as a contributing structure, but it's in a historic district.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
My opinion is I think it's respectful. I think it's additive, and I think it looks good on its site. So with that, I'm going to motion to accept to move to written decision to accept the application for 393 Hill Street based on drawings presented on February 9th. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Good luck.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you for a nice cohesive package. Okay, that takes us to public hearings non-historic. The first was 96 Edward Lane.
That's what the code should says.
Anyone here for 96 Edward Lane?
What is
Hi, it's Brian Brady.
Oh, hi, Brian.
Did you get any new information?
Okay.
We don't have any.
We don't have any submissions.
Yeah, I don't think we have anything
We
new.
don't have any,
No paperwork.
none of us got anything. Was there something we were supposed to get?
This was a holdover from last time. We just had an issue with the entrance. And
Yes.
I have a new entrance design to show you.
Yeah,
But
it was in the
Did we
package.
get-
Yeah, was it? Oh, wait a
not
minute.
mine. It's okay.
Did you submitted updated drawings?
I don't believe I did, no.
I
just thought
think you-
would
did
bring
you-
in a new element, a new entrance.
Yes,
Yeah.
but no one, the public can't, I mean, we didn't see it either, but, okay. let's
Oh,
see.
no, it's not okay. Brian, what you're about to show us was not submitted to the village by deadline?
It was submitted for the last meeting.
Oh, then,
I'm looking at the last meeting. I don't see it though.
okay. Go ahead.
When was the first time it was,
The last meeting was because of the snowstorm.
Yeah.
And so it was on the
yeah.
one before that.
yeah,
So
It was
what
on
you're,
January 12th.
right,
Going back to that one.
here, I have it.
go ahead.
Added to that.
Brian, while we figure this out, go ahead and show us your changes.
Okay, so this was the proposed design for the new front entry, and there was an objection that it felt too
Oh.
tall.
It was-
And I was sort of struggling with that, on what to do to make it feel less tall. There's an arch in here. I have a feeling maybe it was because of the rendering. But the only thing I could think of to change would be to take out this arch and make it flatter, and whether or not that makes you feel it's less tall, I'm not sure.
I don't think the question is much tall as it was fancified.
Right, and does it still have 4 columns?
It's 2 columns and
two pilasters.
Oh, okay.
And then that was the original.
Yep.
And this is the same one that I've done on a house on North Main Street on a ranch. That's,
That's not really a ranch, but, okay.
well, it has dormers. It's a ranch with dormers,
It's
yeah.
still,
Still too much, huh?
Well, hang on.
Right.
but it's
Let me get
fine
rid of it. Go back to where
there,
you-
that's fine, but that's not what we're looking at.
Show us what you're proposing for this house now.
Okay.
That,
That was before.
Nope.
4.
That was the before, and this is
And
the
here's the
after.
simplified
oh,
after.
it still has this on stilts to me feeling. And it's
This is
intrusive.
only, the door is only 7 feet tall.
Yes, but what's around it is a lot. What,
Okay.
And that roof line got pushed up.
yeah. It just doesn't seem to fit. I don't know what else to say. Is there a, if you take all that off and just have a door, how's that feel?
That's what's there now.
Not bad. Yeah.
No, my clients are very formal people. They wanted a formal feeling entrance.
Well, then can you,
Yeah.
I don't know what you can do. I'm not an
I think
architect.
what you're hearing is it still feels,
Is
Artificial.
it the columns? Do you want me to put it on brackets, maybe?
No, it's still gonna be up.
well,
It's
if you
a
bracketed it,
portico.
but if you bracketed it and pulled it down a little bit, it wouldn't be such a striking element, because basically you have what is a lovely ranch house, and then you've got this very sort of formal entrance sort of pushed onto the front of it, and I think that's what people are objecting to. So I think there's a solution that gives you coverage, rain coverage for the front door that doesn't look like it's borrowed from another house.
So maybe putting it on some sort of brackets
Yeah.
would help.
And
Yeah,
can it
because I think
be
it would-
lowered? Because
Yeah.
in this picture of the original, it shows that it looks like it's above the column, like it's got some height above it, like 2 bars going across. So can it come down a little bit?
That's this beam here that you can see. This.
You know,
and that's to get the roof line to align.
Yeah, I think, well, first of all, I think taking the arch out of it simplified a little bit, which is good. I think your bracket solution is probably better than the post into the pilaster into the house. You know, it's a simple, beautiful house with a very, well, like a lot of architecture at the front door, which seems heavy for the facade of the house. So the bracket solution may be the right one.
All right, well, let's try that.
Okay. So,
see you next time, huh?
Any comments from the public? So, you're good for Feb 23rd?
Yeah, I mean, I'll try to get renderings done quickly. If not, I'll let you know.
Okay.
So.
Then I'm going to accept the applicant's request for an adjournment to February 23rd. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We'll see you then.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so that moves us on to 8 Duck Pond Lane.
I said, yes.
Well, and could you start with the existing building?
Make that microphone your friend and introduce yourself, please.
Okay. Charles Kuhn, architect.
Okay. All right, so take us through where we were and where you are.
Okay, so when we were here on the January 12th meeting, basically the board, I feel, thought the house had too much ornamentation, in a sense. When I say that, basically, here was the original proposed elevation. We had dormers on the top. We had some bracket work with a protruding gable, which, you know, the board just felt was too busy, and we sort of agreed at the end. So the top illustration here, as you can see, we took out the three dormers up on top, as well as there was a shed dormer up here, so that all got eliminated. We eliminated the bracket work on each side of the windows. We originally had 2 windows, which felt a little top heavy, so we reduced that down to a single window. And that basically is the other changes to the front. So we took all the board's recommendations. We felt, you know, it does clean the house up quite a bit, simplifies, makes the house a little more harmonious. So that was the front. In the back, I'm not sure if I should have it. So what we had on the back, the two main things the board had concerns with was, one, the amount of glass. So we did reduce the amount of glass by almost just under 30%. In those areas, basically, we eliminated 2 windows by the kitchen. We reduced the 2-story glass element there. We also reduced some of the size of the glass in the rest of the house. So we did take the amount of glass down to, you know, just under 30%. And I believe that was really most of the concerns.
Board members.
Can you show us close up what you are now proposing, the house? Because with the 4 there, it's very difficult.
I'll get rid of this one. No, I'll get rid of that one. So basically, these are the new designs. So the front elevation, again, eliminating the dormers, eliminating the bracket work, and the back elevation, again, reducing the amount of glass work.
What's in the, sorry, go ahead.
Are those all light fixtures on the back there?
Yeah, there's a lot.
Those are light fixtures, yes.
How many do you have?
We basically, well, there's 2 by each of the sliding doors. and one by the single door here. So every
On the
door,
second floor?
yeah, these, and what I mentioned the first time I was here, this deck area, that's a pergola type of structure, so it's not a deck.
Okay.
Where we do introduce sliding doors on the second floor, but it's just a railing. It's not a deck that protrudes out.
It's a little Juliet balcony.
It's a balcony, yes, yes.
And there are lights.
But it's a Juliet balcony, it's like 2 feet deep.
Yeah, about that,
Uh-huh.
exactly.
And
Are they windows or doors?
Those are doors.
All 3 sets on the second level are
Yes.
doors.
The lighting is not required by code because those are not balconies you can step out onto. So if the board feels those are too busy, we certainly can eliminate those.
Well, we're trying to reduce the amount of lighting at night.
Absolutely.
Dark skies.
Yeah.
So.
Are the lights dark sky compliant?
They will be, yes, yes.
But is there any reason for those up there?
No, I even the ones below, I'm just asking if you're.
They're typically not on the outside of windows, but they're sliders. So it's like weird.
I hear-
but
I hear-
like it's not a door, so I feel like.
I think they should go.
I will say they serve no.
And they stick up high.
I would rather see windows there than doors, because if you have a door but you're not going anywhere.
It's more they just wanted the full height class. You know, they wanted to feel like a door, but they don't necessarily need to step out. You know, they would like to.
Well,
I don't know what this
well, you can
is.
step out, it's easier to step out and clean them, I'll give them that.
That's true, and
yeah,
cheaper too.
yeah.
What's in the peaks of the roof peaks front and back?
It's like
Again, yeah, these are single windows, and they will be vaulted. They will be part of the vaulted ceiling.
Above the window.
Yeah.
You're talking about the triangle
At
detail.
the very peak.
The white triangle?
It's a panel detail.
It's a panel detail.
A panel detail, yes.
Here.
I know. I can actually live with that. Well, it's much better, that's for sure.
Quinn, what's your concern?
No, I just couldn't tell what it was, and it
Okay.
was strange in the original version, but it's different now.
It's just a clean panel. It'll protrude about 6 inches from above the window.
Jane?
It's certainly better than what you had, but I don't really understand glass doors that don't go anywhere. It just seems,
Again, having a door in a bedroom is sort of just a nice feature. You can open, there's a lot of opening. You can open the door in the summertime, like that July, Aaron.
I'm sure they're gonna have AC. I'm sure that's
Yeah.
not opening the door for.
I mean, I do at my house, but,
It's a lot of glass.
That's my only issue. I don't understand the doors that go nowhere.
you know, it's a desire of the owner. They would like to have doors. They don't necessarily need a deck to step out onto, but they do like the doors.
You can step out and yell at your kids. Open the door, step out, no. Here's, my comments would be, I think, tremendous improvement, thank you very much. I'm not sure I understand the panel detail in the peaks. The panel detail, I think, is just maybe one step too far. And you're gonna take all the light fixtures off the second floor in the rear?
We will do that, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's light that you don't need, and it's kind of heavy. And it just also brings the house down visually to the neighbors if we just have them on the first floor. And if they're dark sky compliant fixtures, that light will actually shine down and out in this direction. So that's fine. So my only quibble would be, I think, that panel detail.
Would you like to see that more of a shingled detail, or so it's not as heavy?
What?
Go on.
Just gone.
So if we shingle it, it would basically
What's it for?
It's just, it's a design detail.
design element.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everybody's thoughts. So if they just shingled it, would that take it back for you, or just take it out altogether and just make it a wall?
You can do that as well.
I think you just lose it and just make it,
I think there's enough going
There's
on.
enough
You
going
don't
on.
need
Let
that.
it up instead of like
Yeah.
chopping it off.
And it actually makes it heavier up top,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't
Yeah.
think you need.
Yeah, I think if you just lose that,
Yeah.
the house
Yeah.
won't feel top-heavy. If you lose, but losing that and the light fixtures, the second floor will bring it visually down, which is great. I think the improvements at the front door are great.
Yep.
The reduction of glass is much appreciated. And are there any comments from the public? That was quite public. All right, so do you think you can bring us back and show us those by Feb 23rd?
I'm just gonna ask a request, if you feel comfortable approving the application with those conditions.
Can he write on the
I
thing?
can certainly have the
Yeah, he's
drawings back pretty quick.
The stipulations?
Peaks and light fixtures.
That's totally up to the board.
You guys comfortable with that?
I'm comfortable.
Yeah, I'm comfortable.
Okay, well, here's the deal, we'll stipulate it, then you'll have to bring us new drawings, and I won't sign them until we've seen it. So I'm gonna motion to approve the application, because I do understand that you've lost a month here because of we had to cancel a meeting. So I'm gonna, which address am I at here, just to make sure I get the right address here. To approve the application for Duck Pond Lane with the stipulation that the triangle panel detail is removed from the front and rear, and that the light fixtures on the second floor are removed.
Absolutely.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay,
Have a great night.
thank you.
Thank you.
If you will, just bring it to the building department, they'll let me know when they're in, and I'll come and take a look at that before I sign it. Okay.
Thank
And we just need the 2 full-size sets.
What's that?
Just the 2 full-size sets.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so that brings us to 258 White Street.
Is this the one that I can't stand? Where is 258? Oh, there we go.
If you'll state your name, please.
Good evening, I'm John Wines.
Hello.
But we've seen this before.
Dan Kissinger from DK Architectural Design.
Is this
Okay, tell us where you're at.
Okay, so we were at a meeting a while back.
Yep.
You asked for some specific things and we tried to address them.
Great.
If we start with the front page of the renderings, which we have here, we addressed the color. The first thing you brought up was the idea of going from...
These are the right ones, right?
Yes.
Yes. Correct.
January 20th?
Yeah, I can't read it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we addressed the color issue. You had raised the issue about white, and maybe we should do something different, so we went to natural shingles that will weather gray. They're eastern cedar shingle that will weather gray. We also, if you look at the front rendering, you'll see that we reduced the size of the parking area by about 30% in order to minimize the impact of parking, which we're required to have. We planted some shrubbery along the front. We're going to plant some shrubbery along the front just to soften the look, but it would be low shrubbery. We don't want to close the house in at all and make it walled in like one of the complaints that a lot of these houses have is that everything's closed in. So we also added an updated landscape design to your package, which shows that we're going to try to match the privet hedge that's on the west side, put it on the east side, up to the back of the, about even with the front portion of the house, and then along the pool side on the west side, and also on the east side, we're going to use Virginian arborvitae, which are very similar to green giants, but they stay very compact. They grow to a height of about 12 to 15 feet. They stay narrow, and that way, again, we don't create that walled-in look, but we get a little privacy on the first floor and privacy from the neighbors. And then across the back, we addressed the issue that Jeff brought up at the last meeting. We are going to put green giants back there. We discussed it with him as well to try to get some more privacy from the neighbors. They can grow a little bit taller and a little bit larger. So that portion is the front issue, which is what you talked about. Just I want to make a couple of notes about our original concept with this house. I grew up around the corner on Halsey Street, as some of you may know, And this neighborhood is very important to me, the Malone, this house. I knew the family from my whole life. And so it's important to me to make sure that what we design and put here is consistent with the historical look of the village. And actually, I think what we're doing is replacing a house that really wasn't actually, you know, what the village represented. And what we tried to do was we made it so that it was narrower than required. The main house section of the house is only 30 feet wide as you look at it with the, so that our setbacks average on the west side about 25 feet and on the east side about 15 feet. So our average setbacks are about 40 feet where it's required to have 30 feet. So we tried to make it so it wasn't overwhelming on the lot. Some of the existing house is 50 feet wide. We're only at 30 feet wide. So we tried to reduce the impact of the width. And some of the other neighboring houses have the 15-foot minimum setback on each side. So we try to reduce it, make it so that it wasn't very, you know, it fit the lot proportionally. Now, if you go to page 5, we addressed the main things that you were really concerned about, which was the bay window, which we got rid of, and we replaced it with 2 windows, double windows that match the other windows in the house. In addition, we changed the sliding glass doors, which were open glass, and we put divided lights in them, and we reduced it from 16 feet down to 12 feet. So we've made a 25% reduction in the sliding glass door size. And we also changed the gable end of the porch and got rid of the trusses and made it match the rest of the house. We also got rid of where the outdoor fireplace was. That was originally encased in white siding as well. We turned that into a brick to match the existing the fireplace on the main house. And as you notice, it's not full height because it's a gas fireplace.
Oh, I was gonna say, wait a minute.
So,
squatty little fireplace.
Yeah.
So,
Are you allowed to do that? Okay, great.
So we don't really need the height, but it's there so that it looks like a regular chimney. So I think those are the main things that you were looking for. I think we've tried to address everything that.
Thank you. Board members.
Well, you definitely listened. It's much, much more appealing than original. I'm looking at the landscape plan, and it just says low flowering shrubs. Like, what are you going to put in the front of the house? I mean, that's
It might
important.
be something like a skip laurel. I guess my son could probably speak to that. He's in the audience, but we have a full palette here of different things to choose from, but probably something in the
Yeah.
nature of a skip laurel, something that's evergreen that
Yeah.
would
Well, that would
keep
be
it
fine,
soft.
but it just says low flowering
Right.
shrubs on the, and you really want green giants in the back to be like,
Yeah, because we were asked to do it. We'd like.
Sorry,
This is my
I'm Bill Wentz. So the landscaping plan, the way we had devised it, had it in theory was privet hedge on each side, east and west, northeast and northwest, to match each other and kind of keep the classic village feel. Across the front, we had looked at low shrunk flowering shrubs. We had thought about reblooming azaleas was one idea, something that stays evergreen, stays about 2 to 3, maybe up to 4 feet tall, just enough to keep the car out of view, but not enclose the property and close off the view of the house. The Virginian arborvitaes on the southwest and northwest side were intended to keep it about the height of the first floor, just about to the first floor windows. Across the back, we had specific requests for a little more privacy for the back rear neighbors. The idea with the green giant arborvitaes was not necessarily to let them grow to their maximum potential, but keep them roughly around 20 feet tall. Maybe just enough to keep people with that privacy that they are looking for across the back. That was a specific request we were trying to react to. Our original intent had actually been the Virginian arborvitaes across the back, and we'd be amenable to that as well, but we were just trying to be receptive to the neighbors.
I'm also just trying to encourage indigenous plantings. So I know arborvitae is not indigenous, and either is the azalea, but.
So, like I said, there was just one of the things we've looked
Yeah.
at. It was just a notation of an idea. Daria was actually our landscaping designer. We had just started this process. We have a 28-page plant palette list, including plenty of indigenous plantings and stuff like that. The balance we were trying to find for the backyard was something that's evergreen, deer resistant, and provides enough privacy for both the neighbors. People don't want to be looking across in their backyards at each other. That was something specifically that was one of the only issues that was ever brought to us by a neighbor.
And to bring your point, to address your point, we do like to use indigenous plants. In addition, we try to create a layered look with the idea that some of it's going to be privacy screening, that there aren't many options for us to work with that will satisfy neighbors as well as give privacy for the owners. And but then we tried to layer it in with some additional plantings. We're actually doing that at our own houses.
So the idea was also for a 4-season landscaping.
I need you to be near the microphone.
Sorry.
You can stand
The
at the
idea was,
podium if that's easier.
yeah, that's actually a lot easier.
It's probably more comfortable.
The idea was for a 4-season landscaping plan, something that has interest throughout the year. We live here year round, and it's tough when you drive by the houses and they are sticks and brown sticks and some dead grass and nothing else. The hydrangeas are great in the summer. They don't do anything for you in the winter. So like I said, we've been working with Daria for the last 2 months trying to come together with layered gardens that has evergreen foundations with flowers, and we have put bulbs in for the spring. You have flowers that are blooming in the summer, like the hydrangeas or things like azaleas, or trees that are scaled appropriately to the lot. For example, we have some blooming trees. The idea was to keep them relatively compact and dwarf, something that's maybe 8 to 10 feet tall, so that it doesn't overwhelm the property. Because another thing is a lot of new houses, they are just completely either barren and look like no one put any effort at all into them, or they look like they're completely overgrown and they just threw stuff in as close as they could to each other and overplanted it. So the idea was to try and find that right balance with.
Yeah.
Thank
you for that. Thank you.
One of the things we were thinking about was camellia, which is more of a native plant. We used it at our own house. So these are things that we try to keep in mind.
Okay. Well, I think the house looks much better than the original plan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any comments from the public?
Guess not.
These. I'm guessing Jeff's coming in.
Oh, really?
Is someone coming in?
Oh.
Hello?
Yeah, hi there, it's Jeff Bronklin. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Jeff.
I don't know if you can see me though, can you?
We cannot, but I see your name.
Okay. Well, let me see if there's a video. Hold on. Let me get the light on.
Pretty dark in there.
Oh, there you are.
There I am. Yeah, so anyway, I'm Jeff Bronklin at 166 Halsey Street, one of the notified neighbors. And yes, to your comments, I appreciate the work John has done, and reflecting or building on what Claire had brought up, Jane had brought up, is the intentions are great, the renderings are great. What's lacking is a specific plan enumerating the plantings so that there's no confusion at some later date. Recognizing that there's been a delay because of weather and so on, it's up to the board whether they want to hold this off until the plantings and landscaping is specified. Is your call. But I would like to see that as part of the approved file, so that there are no questions or issues later on. And to the point of green giants on the south side, which is the back, and I know from speaking to my neighbors, but I can only speak for myself, is that that would be supported. There are abutting properties to 258 that are backed by two two properties in between that are bordered by hedges, regular hedges. And I can tell you during the winter, you can see right through two yards to those. So I appreciate the fact that they want to put in green giant arborvitaes, which are very effective, and to the extent that they grow 20 feet, that's perfectly fine. We use that on our property for some privacy with our neighbors. So in any event, that's a long way of saying that I appreciate all that's being done. I would just like to see and be part of the record that yes, the planting and plants are specified.
Okay.
If I may comment to that, I think that may have been the first landscape plan, but the second landscape plan that you have that was part of the record specifically shows green giants on the side and the back, Virginian arborvitae along the sides, shows the location, and the only thing it doesn't say is specifically what those low flowering shrubs would be, because we were undecided between camellias and a couple of other things, because we have a lot of different options. So it's the only thing that wasn't enumerated there was those low flowering shrubs, because it even describes pentacle hydrangeas. It couldn't be much more detailed.
Yeah, the only thing that would be missing is literally a detailed plan of the flowering beds, but that's a level of
that's not
detail that we would
necessary,
also like to have some leeway to do some shopping in the spring and summer, when we can actually go and see stuff physically in person at Fowler's and places like that, rather than to be, tied down to a plan made in January. We tried to identify in writing on the plan the items that were specifically raised as a concern.
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine. I really appreciate your limited setbacks and your being nice to the neighbors. It's impressive to me. I think in this neighborhood in particular that has issues with that, I know. Everyone, right?
Yeah. I would tell you that the changes and the color changes
Yeah.
and the architecture changes are spot on for the house. I think the way that you've managed to move more cars to the rear for less street-facing parking is appreciated. I think you've done a good job screening out and defining what your screening plants are going to be around. And I think it does feel like the only thing that's missing are the shrubs around the front and the ornamental plants around the front in the drawing that I'm looking at. So I think I would be comfortable with this plan. So with that, I'm going to motion to approve. Where are we at? Make sure I get my street correct here. The application for 258 White Street based on drawings presented on February the 9th. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
you.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Okay, so that takes us to 29 Corrigan Street.
Let's get them all. Is that?
Hello, everyone. Good to see everyone. I'm Zach
Hello.
Clanahan, representing the clients at 29 Corrigan. We had left off a month ago with a couple of requests to check with the building department about the safety of the pool, and also if this works according to code with its adjacency to the structure. I did check the next day. I went back to Chris Talbot, checked with them. Everything meets pool code compliancy, so we were good on that level. We were also asked to adjust the amount of glass on the south elevation.
Yep.
You wanted a 20% reduction, so we pulled one panel off. And what we noticed is the panels were actually a little bit too wide because they were bifolds before. So even with one panel off, we felt it didn't fit properly, so then we matched these actual glass lights. So it actually is more than a 20% reduction in our 5-panel design.
We always like more.
That's good. So I think this is, and I agree, it was good to pursue this. It feels more in character with the other elevations. I
Agreed.
think it was a good move.
Yeah,
Okay. Board
So-
members?
all good.
Yeah, much improved. The pool still makes, I think, us a little nervous,
Makes
but
us mothers.
Yeah.
Nervous.
I understand.
Really. If they
Any
need a
comments?
lifeguard, they should call me.
Any comments from the public? First of all, thank you for going back to the building department, and thank you for listing the changes. I think they have made an appropriate change. I think it looks great.
Thank you.
So with that, motion to approve the application for 29 Corrigan Street based on drawings presented on February 9th. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So that brings us to 234 Wickapog Road.
I'll do it.
Good evening.
Good evening.
If you could start by introducing yourself.
Yeah. Lori Fontana, McDonough Conway Architects.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know if you can, backwards or forwards on, okay. So as per the last meeting on February 12th and the comments, the board was not happy with the double columns. We've since removed them. Additionally, the railings were too decorative, so we went back to standard railings. The white house is now a cedar house, left natural. We also removed the corbels in the gambrel ends, and that was the majority of the comments. I do believe the client is on the phone,
Okay.
on Zoom.
Okay.
Justine?
And you have a shot.
Okay.
Anything else?
Board members.
It's an improvement. What's that, always like a big bay window that's stuck out there?
That's been previously approved.
What, previously approved?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it simplifies and makes the house look much better, much calmer, and presents much better to the street. It's much more harmonious to the neighborhood.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I think it's much.
Okay, any comments from the public? Okay, with
Can I
that then.
ask a shutter question?
Yes, of
Again?
course.
Yeah, that was previously approved. That was existing shutters. We just continued the theme.
But did they change the windows?
That was the windows we've actually, from the originally approved, we've reduced windows.
So there were larger windows originally with
Yes.
those shutters?
Yes. There was 3 across the top on each side, on each of the side gambrels, and there are now only 2. I have,
Well, what was the date? When was that?
I did not present that,
Yeah.
so I don't.
Okay.
It's just the proportion is what's strange.
Oh, the
I'm sorry?
shutters?
The proportion
Yeah,
on the
they
shutters
don't
is very
look
strange.
like they belong on those
right.
windows.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
They don't.
Again, those were, the shutters
Once
were
you
a
change-
carryover from what was previously approved.
How does that work?
But the windows changed.
But the windows got smaller. I reduced the windows from what was previously approved.
Are these shutters operable or decorative?
They have the tiebacks and they can be used.
Well, clearly the ones in the bay window can't be.
So just so I can show you,
Yeah.
this was the approved,
Yep.
and we had 3 on
But
each
there
of
aren't
these.
shutters on
There's no
those.
shutters.
So would you be amenable to removing the shutters on the upper portion?
No, all or nothing, I would think.
Well, you previously approved the lower ones. And there was shutters on the upper
Well, here's-
middle
here-
bay.
You're,
Wait a minute,
wait a minute. The okay, so the windows have changed.
I think that was there. What is this? Does that
It's
stick
a,
out?
it's a whole different roof line.
What's a
Yeah.
whole different, meaning what?
What you're presenting here is a much different roof line than what we're looking at in the rendering.
This
for
is
today.
what you approved
Yeah, but-
previously.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but once
yeah,
you
but-
change
But
it.
you're here to change what we
Right,
approved.
so,
So what what you're showing us now is not that.
no,
Because the
this
pediments are
is,
no longer over the windows. The windows have changed.
this is
I think
what's
what you're
being
hearing is
proposed.
I think what you're hearing is that you're not getting support for the shutters.
Okay,
So if you just
No, I think that you all have not actually heard anything about the shutters.
Well, that's fine, you think. that-
sorry,
Do
could
what?
you have to introduce
you have
yourself to them.
introduce yourself.
I'm sorry, I'm
That's
Justine
okay.
Reed.
Okay.
My husband and I own 234 Wickapog.
Okay.
It's a home that we absolutely cherish. We love the home. It's our dream home, and this is definitely holding things up as we speak. But I understand that you all have policies and practices that you all abide by, and I respect that immensely. But as far as the shutters go, they were approved, or previously, I believe in July of last year. And at that point, we started to begin the construction process. In the midst of that, we realized proportionally, to correct the front of the home, we would have to extend the porch out. The existing roof line does not change. It does not go higher, it does not go lower, it's the same roof line, so that's not accurate. I'm not sure who said that, but it doesn't change that.
But he actually is accurate, because if I look at the approved drawings, there were pediments.
It's just the front.
Well, let's talk about just the front, because there were pediments over.
And now it's a gambrel.
And now it's a gambrel.
Right.
So, and where there were 3 windows, there are now 2. So you have changed the roof line, and where you had a pediment over the easternmost, and with no shutters on the second floor, you had a pediment. Now you have a drop roof structure that's coming off a standard roof line. So the actual front of the house has changed.
Yes, I mean, that was essentially
Yeah.
to.
So, and what we originally approved, there were no
correct it.
shutters on the second floor. There were only shutters on the bay window.
There were shutters
Yes,
approved in
you
July.
you are correct, Mark.
Yeah, but there were only shutters on the bay window. So I think what you're hearing is that the people feel that the shutters on the second floor
Are not harmonious.
are
with
not
the window
harmonious to the
sizes.
house.
So would you?
But they've already been approved.
No, they have not
No,
been approved. You keep saying that, but they have not been approved. So if you would,
So the shutters, let me clarify for her. The shutters on the first floor and the shutters on the bay window were previously approved. The shutters on the additional 2 gambrels and the dormer on the left were not in the original plan.
Okay. Oh, because the windows were different.
Correct.
and the
But
roof
we
line
made
was,
the
and the roof
windows
line was different.
smaller to make room for the actual shutters. So that, I'm sorry if I had that wrong, but I understand what you're saying now. But
Okay.
that is exactly why we went ahead and made the windows go from 3 to 2, because proportionally and just symmetrically, in order to give that nice appearance, so it's not obscure looking or terrible looking. We decided that that would be the best thing to do, even though we lose a window on each side. Not that I like to lose windows, but
Well, it comes down to board members. What do you feel about the shutters, and how much do you feel about the shutters?
I think they detract. Like
I mean, the shutters
here-
should relate to a window.
Right.
And I'm not seeing that relationship.
Plus,
I think what you're hearing is, if you'd be willing to go back to where you were and just take the shutters off the second floor,
and have them on the first floor?
or are you guys thinking the shutters all the way around are a
the
problem?
continuity is what strikes me.
I think it's way. Is this a new, this is a totally new
architect working
application
on
or
this?
amendment?
It's an amendment.
It's an amendment.
No, it's
I
an
think
amendment.
it's an amendment.
It was a,
I get that they're saying that, but
Yeah.
isn't that our problem?
well, it was a project that was approved by a different architect, and they wanted a different front. And they came in and updated the original approved, because they wanted a different presentation
I
for
get
the
that,
street.
but it's so much.
So would this board be willing to approve this if we were willing to remove the shutters off of the second floor?
And still have them on the first floor?
Why? I don't know how that would look.
Honestly, since I don't think the shutters actually cover the windows, I'm not sure it makes a difference, do they?
No, they are operable shutters.
Right,
They
but
are
what
operable
Mark's stating is that if you close them, they don't cover
Right.
the whole window.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't.
Right.
So the ones on the right and left.
Yeah,
I
so
guess
therefore
would.
they're not operable, they're decorative. So
The
I
ones
think,
at the bay window are decorative,
So-
actually.
And also the ones on the first floor where there's 3 windows, those are also decorative.
Those don't have to be decorative.
The ones on the far left look like they're too big.
so I think if you're willing to, I think the improvements that you've made to the house are great. I think the one point here is people feel that the shutters make the house too heavy, and they would probably approve if you just agreed to remove the shutters.
Justine?
That's what I'm hearing.
I just can't envision that home without shutters on it.
Then why don't we adjourn this? Why don't you show what it looks like without the shutters? You guys make a decision and come back, because you don't have the votes you need tonight to vote on this with shutters.
Understood.
Okay?
Justine, are you willing to postpone until the 23rd, or are you willing to accept the approval minus the shutters?
I'll accept the approval minus the shutters, if that's okay.
I'll have the plans corrected and to the office.
Okay, you good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I'm
Thank
going
you.
to, a motion to approve the application for 234 Wickapog with the stipulation that the shutters are removed and new drawings are submitted to the building department. Based on drawings presented on February 9th. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, there you go.
Thank you.
You'll just bring new drawings
Thank
and
you.
I'll take a look at it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So that takes us to 145 Wickapog Road.
Is that coming in from I don't know where? Oh, wait, I can get rid of it.
145, are they coming in?
I believe they're by Zoom.
Okay.
Hi, John Tarbett. Can the board hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you, John.
Hi. This is John Tarbett for the applicant, Sherry and John Reese, who are on the line as well, as is the architect and the landscape architect. At some point shortly, the architect will take over and walk you through the plans. Sorry?
Sorry.
No. We were here about a month ago, and then, of course, 2 weeks ago, the meeting got canceled. A month ago, we presented to you the barn, and there's an active permit that was approved by the board right now, so the barn is undergoing some restoration, but we had wanted to make some more changes to it, as well as a deck off the back of the house. At the last meeting, 2 things the board wanted to consider before making a decision. One was that the barn had a previous, what's her name, Sally?
Spanberger.
Right. The previous owners had been before the board, and you had her on your behalf prepare a report on the barn, and that is in the file, and hope you've now had a chance to look at that, as well as the board had wanted to go out and look at the relationship to the deck off the back of the house with a neighbor's house. And if you've had a chance to do that, then you probably noticed that there's heavy landscaping between the 2 properties, as well as, I guess I should let probably the architect walk you through the plans. Now, if we could start with the barn, if that's okay? Jeffrey, can you sign on? Can the board hear me?
Yeah, it just
Yes.
takes a little while.
Okay, all right. Oh, there he is. I see Jeffrey signing on. There he is.
Okay. Hi. Does the board hear me now?
Yes.
We do.
Okay, good. I'm Jeffrey Fine from Fine Architects, architect for John and Sherry Reese, owners of 145 Wickapog. And last month, we started to go over the barn elevations and plan, and I believe we got through what we were proposing, and I think at the time the board was planning on stopping by the house and the barn to take a look at the proposed changes. And I'm going to just share my screen to sort of take a look at this. I'm just looking for the screen sharing function.
Jeffrey, when you're doing that, I'll just quickly jump in.
Okay.
The board will probably remember the barn is approximately 200 years old. It had gotten to terrible condition. There's, in the report prepared during the last application, there's pictures from the 1990s. You can see that it's essentially falling over in the 1990s, and it didn't get any better until John and Sherry Reese bought it recently. Actually, that's not true. I guess the owners previous to them had started some renovations, and now that we're trying to fix it up. But even in the pictures from the historical report, you can see that it looks to me that maybe when windows were taken off old jobs, they would put windows into the barn, and there was a bunch of windows stored around the back of the barn. Those pictures. It's had the last 30, and the files are filled with letters from neighbors begging them to do something with it, as it was about to fall over. So that's just the background of the barn.
Sorry, but where is the screen share function on this?
It should be right in the middle, a green arrow up, and then next to raise hand.
I don't.
I can keep going while you look for it, Jeff. So
Yeah,
the basic change to the barn is that there's two windows in the existing barn on the right hand side. We want to mimic those on the left hand side, and then we wanted to do some doors on the side of the barn. Oh, looks like you got it, Jeff.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay. So, okay, so the left side, the elevation on the left is the existing barn elevation. On the south elevation facing the house, we are proposing to add 2 windows to the left side of the barn door to match the windows that are currently on the right side, which were previously approved. On the east elevation, we're proposing to replace one 2/2 window with basically 3 French door panels. The image of this panel was in the historic report, in an adaptive reuse photograph that was part of that report. The west side of the barn, we're not proposing any changes, and let me just scroll up. And then turning the corner to the north side of the barn, again, we're proposing to replace one 2/2 double hung window with the 3 panels. So this corner of the barn, the northeast corner of the barn, basically opens out to the landscape area that's going to be an apple orchard. Let me just see if I can pull up that plan. Okay. So the area that we're really talking about is, this corner of the barn where those French door panels are. Should we pause right now to go over the barn, or should I continue with the proposed porch extension at this point?
Go into the porch extension.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to jump over to some existing images. Okay. The existing porch is seen in this photograph, and it's sort of located asymmetrically on the rear facade, sort of basically shifted over to the left. Here's another close-up. There is currently a cellar-level courtyard that we are proposing to cover up and plant over it. And what we're planning to do is extend the existing porch, and I'm going to look at a couple of different facades. This is the east facade, showing the existing porch. Then the expanded porch on the east facade. It's currently about 8.5 feet deep, and we're proposing to expand it to approximately 17 feet. The west facade is sort of a similar view, just the other side of the building, and again, the same expansion. And then the front or the rear facade of the house, but the front-on view of the porch shows the sort of asymmetrically located porch with respect to the rear elevation. And this is the proposed elevation of that facade. You know, the detailing is all with it, using the same materials and the same details as the existing porch, with respect to both the railing, the columns, and the trim on the side of the house.
Yeah, can you show the proposed?
Yeah, this is the proposed here.
I don't think we're looking at the same thing. I'm looking at the existing.
I think you're showing the existing.
This is the existing. Oh, wait a minute.
No, I think there's a lag in the image.
Oh, sorry,
sorry.
yeah.
What's in front of you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm talking about it. Yeah, let me switch over to a different drawing.
This is A201.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, this is the existing
Okay, that makes more sense.
elevation on the north side of the house. And this is the proposed elevation on the north side of the house. And then on the east side of the house, this is the existing porch, and this is the proposed porch expansion. And then on the west side of the house, the existing porch and the proposed porch.
One thing we both haven't told the board yet is we did reach out to both neighbors to make sure there was no issues, and they both told us they were happy with the proposed porch. It's been our position that maybe that basement courtyard was not the most attractive feature in the house, and filling it in and making it look like this is an improvement. We hope the board agrees with that. There's also giant arborvitaes between us and the neighbors. Oh, Jeff, can you show the view from, can you show the neighbor's house? Can you have that view?
Yes.
From the inside of our house?
Okay.
Here we go. So,
It's 2 acres.
the neighbors had a very similar porch for quite a while. That's the view out of the master bedroom, Jeff?
Yes, the master
Out
bedroom.
of our master bedroom, that's the view of their porch, which is pretty similar. The barn in that picture was built, I think you probably remember that barn coming before the board. I think that barn was built in the last 3 or 4 years.
Alex, do you have a copy of the letter that we got?
Let me see if I can pull it up.
Did you email it to us? We got a letter from the original owner of that house about the barn.
Oh, yeah, I have it. The long thing?
It was about the
The
barn.
history.
Yeah,
About the barn on this property?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a good history of that barn, dating back to the late 1700s probably. It was moved to the property in
Yep.
the 1900, turn of the century, 1900 and something. Just, unfortunately, it become really in bad condition.
Is it still in bad condition? Because it was rebuilt, because we spent months looking at that barn.
Oh, I'm sorry, we talking about the property, the barn on this property or the
Yeah, no,
neighbor?
I'm talking about the barn on this property, because we spent
Oh,
a
on
lot
this
of time.
property, yeah, no, it's.
We spent a lot of time working on that.
Other people.
But it was still, the work was done on it as part of the last construction process, it was only a few years ago, so.
Yeah, no, it's, Jeffrey, how far, we haven't gotten much further than the pictures, right? It's.
The framing has been reinforced inside the house. The the concrete floor has been poured, and some rough plumbing has been installed at this point.
Certainly not gonna fall over.
And there's also a new roof.
Yeah, it's
shingle
in
that's-
considerably better shape than it was when we walked it 4 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
All right. There was a letter that came in that gave us actually the long history of that barn. It's one of the oldest existing remaining barns in Southampton. And it was moved at the turn of the century because it was part of a bigger property, and we spent a lot of time preserving that barn. So, as far as the house goes, that's one issue, but the barn itself, I don't know that I'm comfortable, working with the historic openings of it to the point that it's almost landmark worthy because it's one of the few remaining structures left in the village of its time and history.
We took direction from the historical consultant's report, which suggested that this would be an adaptive reuse of the barn. So
Well-
the doors that we suggested were directly from her report to this board.
Well, my concern is now we're starting to open windows into areas that were not historically open windows for the original presentation of that barn. That's what my concern. That's what my concern is. What?
I do have the letter. I'm making sure that it's in the file as well.
Okay. Can you send it to me? We'll read a section of it.
Sure. What was there a specific part?
Yeah, if you could just read the section about the history of the barn, not the house itself.
It says that the letter writer's grandfather purchased the barn from Thomas Hildreth, who owned the farm across the street. Thomas Hildreth sold the barn to my grandfather because he was leaving farming. He built and owned the original Sagaponic General Store, as well as being a Southampton town supervisor during his life. My grandfather moved the barn across the street to its present location. And then he goes on to say that the barn is extremely old because the shingles that were still on the east side of the barn and other factors all matched the Halsey House on South Main Street, and indicated that the barn may be as old as the Halsey House, or at least built around that time.
Right.
So the barn's obviously been around for over 200 years, and I think you want to encourage people to care for them and improve them and maintain them for another 200 years.
We did that. Well, that's what we did 4 years ago to get it rebuilt to where it is now. That was the intention when that work was done
Well,
by
I mean,
this
it still
board.
needs a significant amount of money to bring it up to, if it's going to be, I mean, it's not going to be, unfortunately, it's not going to be a potato barn anymore, right? So it has to, that's the whole Secretary of the Interior, adaptive reuse. There has to be some, I mean, if you go online, there's hundreds of pictures of barns that have been redone according to the Secretary of the Interior guidelines that have doors in them like this. I think there has to be some acknowledgement that it's no longer a potato barn, right? It has to have some use for modern life to encourage the owners to spend the significant amount of money that are needed to redo these and maintain them for hundreds of years.
Well, let me ask you, let me open up to the other board members because they may feel differently than I do.
I definitely understand the concept of making it usable in today's world. But I also want to preserve the historic nature of the structures. So I think it's sort of a conundrum right now.
Where is it now? Where is it now in its sort of life? Is it empty? Is it used? Is it?
It's not. It's
sort of
it's
mid,
the beginning
it's sort
stages
of
being-
mid-reconstruction, yeah.
Did they begin
It's-
construction and not complete the construction?
This house has quite a history over the last 6 years, yeah.
Yeah, I would say that it was in danger of falling over. It's probably not in danger of falling over at this point, but it hasn't.
But it needs
It hasn't-
continued rehabilitation based on the last round of photos we saw a month ago. So it's like.
Oh, in the last month, Jeffrey, any changes?
Yes, some additional work has happened there.
On the inside?
On the inside.
Yeah, because the floor was poured and there's some other work that was done, yeah.
If it's going to be a living structure.
Now, the part of me doesn't want anything done to it, but having spent some time over there in the past, I hear what you're saying, actually. And I don't think it's so much, already allowed to do some of it, which is pretty remarkable. So why not just, I don't object to it. I wish that weren't true, but there's no way to save these things. I'd also like to add that I did attend training where you can get some kind of tax consideration for preserving barns in the state of New York. It gives you some graduated reduction in taxes for the renovation of old barns.
Where do you fall on it?
I'm unsure. I'm curious what their hopes are in using the barn.
That's a good question. We should probably.
No.
I know it's not about that, but
No, I think it's fair.
Discuss
Yeah.
use.
I think it's fair, right? Because again, you don't want the barn to sit empty, and you also want to encourage people to maintain these things. Jeffrey, that's supposed to be an office, right?
Yeah, but we also don't want to obliterate its visual identity as a barn, so, yeah.
Right.
Let me switch to the floor plan.
Can I be heard?
No.
We can't look at that.
Can people hear me?
We hear you, John.
How do you do? My name is John Reese. My wife Sherry's on the line also. I think you all know this property has a long history, owned by people who created a lot of issues for the neighbors around them. We've come in here and done everything we can to be good neighbors and good citizens of the community, and do plan to put a reasonable amount of money, quite a reasonable amount of money into the barn. We actually really love the barn, but we need to have it useful a little bit. We're making very, very few changes from our perspective. Maybe not from your perspective. We're not experts in this. But all we're really asking to do at this point is to put in 2 windows in the front, which makes them symmetrical, and then put some kind of sort of folding door in the back that Jeff or John can explain better, but is very consistent, as I understand it, with another historical barn that you guys have approved. Again, I just want to emphasize, it's very important to us be good neighbors. I know the chairman of this board had indicated he was going to come look at the property. I don't know if others of you came and look at the property. We want to be good neighbors and good citizens. That's why we went to both of our neighbors to ask about all of this. Everybody around us, to the extent it's relevant, is very happy with how we've conducted ourselves. And Jeff and John and Brian, the landscaper, have put together something that really requires minimal changes to what's have been already approved, but is important to us, and puts the barn in a position where I think other people can explain better than I, really maintains in large part the historical nature and look of the barn. So I would hope you can see your way to approving this in part so we don't have to come back again also. We've tried our best here. Thank you very much.
And we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
I believe you're the owner, correct?
Yes, sir, I am, and my wife's on the line also.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, I feel like the amount of work that has already happened on the interior of this structure.
It was literally blowing over when they rescued
Right.
it. Yeah.
And like the fact that it's going to have some rehabilitation and live on, and they're always going to say it's a 400-year-old barn, right? Because it is in its essence. I don't know.
All right.
It's tricky.
Yeah.
Where are you coming out on this?
I think it needs to keep living.
I guess I don't really understand the door because the rendering is so small. I don't quite understand the door. I'm fine with the window in the front. I understand you need light in there, but I don't completely understand the door.
Well, what we're trying to do is open up that corner of the barn so that it opens up to the corner of the property, which is where the new apple orchard.
That's where the apple orchard's going.
Yeah.
And to let,
And are
I
they-
understand you want to put light in there somewhere.
Yeah, they're not sliding glass doors, they're
No, it's a folding.
folding
glass
doors, okay.
So they fold into the open position, which we'd like to utilize as much as possible so we can bring the outside into the space and the inside out to the space.
I get that. I think the thing I probably object to the most is actually the street facing front of it, because you're contemporizing it by making it harmonious, because it's the balance at the front is what the barn doesn't currently have, and when you add the matching windows on the other side, suddenly it contemporizes it and takes out the design quirks of what were in the barn. I guess that's what I'm reacting to.
And often old windows from other buildings would be popped into these barns.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be
were
identical.
mismatched and-
Yeah.
Well, actually, I mean, we'll be reusing this window, which came.
But it's actually just the it's actually the symmetry, I think. It's actually the symmetry of the front facing of it that actually takes away from the fact that it was a barn, because the barn would not have been symmetrical.
So I understand that point. There does need to be some light let into the barn. Is there a different, would it be better if the windows were not symmetrical?
It would to me. To me, it would identify more as a barn if that were true.
Probably reasonable, right? I mean,
because like if you look at the other facades, there's nothing symmetrical about this thing all the way around except for suddenly the front.
I do think a lot of those windows popped in the 60s and 70s.
Well, some of the windows actually were where the hay bale was originally.
Yeah.
Some of the windows had put in where the hay bale was in the 60s had been replaced, if I remember correctly, because there was also a bunch of hardware under there where there was a hay lift that went into the side of it at one point.
In Sally's report on page 5, you can see all these, there's like stacks of windows. They must have taken off old jobs. But
Yeah.
that's from the 1990s.
Oh, there was so much stacked in that barn that was unrecognizable. All right, way forward. Any comments from the public?
Do I count as the public? Just kidding, sorry.
I think you're the public, but you're the biased public.
This has a sense of humor.
All right.
What if they put a different window in there, Mark, not a matching match?
If we could just figure out how to make the front face of the facade of this 200-year-old last existing barn not look like it was contemporized to be a residential structure, I could probably be a little happier.
Could we put in a pair of 2/2 windows next to each other?
You know,
it's a tough thing, right? Because I mean, I guess we'll take the board suggestion, whatever you think.
Is it really true that historically barns didn't have symmetry?
They didn't have windows.
No, because the openings in most of the old barns are put in for function, not for, it depends on what was happening in that barn,
Right.
which is why I decide so. Well, immaterial to that, my comment is, in this barn, in this structure, that's a part I object to, but maybe it's not the end of the world. But we are the Board of Historic Preservation. So that's where I'm sort of coming from. but I think I'm probably alone here.
I just think it's,
I get the
done
adaptive
already.
reuse, and I think
Right.
the adaptive reuse is important, I get that. And we've come 50% of the way, but the fact that it's just not fallen down, which is where we were before. First time I looked at it, there was 3 feet of snow in it.
In it.
In it, yeah. All right. Well, any other comments about the other portions of the house? You guys comfortable with that, with the balconies, with the other
Yeah.
portions of it? All right. So there's no comments from the public. So I'm going to motion then, let's see where we go. I'm going to a motion to approve the application for 145 Wickapog Road based on drawings presented on February 9th. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, and I'm opposed. Okay, it passes.
There you go.
Okay.
Thank you very, very much. We will take very, very good care of this barn.
Thank you.
We've heard that before.
We heard that the last time.
It's exhausted me.
I know it wasn't you. I know it wasn't you.
Thank you. Thank you. We have
All right.
a very different.
Okay. Yep. Okay, we're moving on. Thank you.
Thank you.
The night's not young and neither am I. Let's see. That takes us to new matters. First one is 283 Cooper's Neck Lane. Do you have the affidavits and are they in order?
Yes and yes.
It's 283.
Hi, John Bennett for the applicant and Sal Cicerelli, architect. So Sal's going to take you through the plans, but I thought what would be extremely helpful, if you have it right there, oh good, you have it in large form. We submitted this as an amendment on January 9th. What you have here is, I think it's really helpful. The top is the existing house. The middle is a previous ARB approval. This is for, by the way, this is for the Mortimers. Residents.
How previous? Just
And
curious.
the bottom is the
I don't have this.
proposed,
I have it.
which I think is superior.
Let me just ask, John, the previous ARB approval was when?
2021. 2021. Just never
It
executed.
just never
on it.
executed.
Yeah, never
I remember
executed.
this because this
It does away
backs up
with
to
the
water, right?
balconies in the
Yeah,
front.
this backs up to the lake. Yeah, I know this house. Yeah, okay.
Does away with the balconies in the front, and I think it's well, anyway, you'll be the judge of it, but I think it's a superior design. But I think it was helpful to see what the house looks like now, and what was previously approved, and I think a more compatible. Sal's come up with a better design, which is the current proposed. But I just maybe take you through all the different elevations. And one thing I wanted to mention before I forget is I spoke to Gigi Mortimer today. I said it's not clear on the drawings what the color of the proposed shutters are, so she sent me a Farrell and Ball. It's called, I can't pronounce this. Is that Dempsey? Is that what it is? It's like a very, very light gray. Do we have renderings? But I don't know how to pronounce that. But it's the color is what's important.
I don't think they have. Do you have renderings?
No renderings?
No, just 2D. Just drawings. No. We can ask for something you want to see. All right, take us through it.
So our goal for the new current proposed was to really simplify the details, try to balance the house a bit more, and just try to make moves that made sense, bring the house back to maybe what it should be without being more than it has to be. Just giving it some character. So bringing the shutters back in. I think the house had shutters many years ago. They were taken off. We want to bring them back on. They will be operable. They are sized to close completely onto the window. You know, we are trying to go for a more Greek revival type house, so we reduced the balconies in the front down to a Doric style portico. And then we were taking the existing garage, converting that to a mudroom, because as big as the house is, there's no utility space. And then we're going to push the garage further north and keep it attached. And that's really our moves. I think the divided lights, we're going from a 6/6 to a 2/2. Again, matching details. The panels that you see across the top along the frieze board are existing, so we're just carrying that motif around. The other elevations, same, it's just showing a back view of the garage and the decks. So really the south,
Did we already do this?
southwest deck had this big glass railing on it. And that would drove what the previously approved plan, but now we're going to keep it just to the back, to where the water side is, where it makes sense, and more private towards the front, which is where you saw the panels in the front. And then this is the north view that overlooks the field to the north, which they also own that property. And you can see it's just a hip style roof for the garage and the main volume, 2-story volume of the house.
Do you have actual photographs of the existing?
I believe so. Are they?
It's a plain Jane.
It is a plain Jane. It's much less elaborate than the prior approval, we think.
Board members, what are your thoughts?
Well, it's certainly improved dramatically from the originally approved in 2021. I think it's much improved. It almost looks like New Orleans or something in the in that one. So I appreciate that. It's hard for me to say without a rendering because I'm not sure. Are these windows above that wing to the left? Are those all windows?
No, they're solid panels.
Solid panels,
Yeah,
okay.
all of the frieze board. This is all solid panel, which the house has already on the south.
Gwen?
Yeah, I agree. I think we need to see renderings for sure.
Yeah, I think for a project this size, I think a rendering is probably in order.
The glass, is it a glass rail that's on the back?
Yeah.
And that doesn't show
It's
in
existing.
the front? That's existing.
Not in the front. We're
It's
keeping
not
it solid in the front.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was talking about the rear. Sorry. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I think at a project of this scope and scale, I actually would like to see a rendering.
Certainly big improvement from 2021.
Yeah.
Thanks. No.
Are the garages used now at all?
Yeah,
Yeah, they do have a little
modern doors on them.
There's a
Plain
small,
Jane drawers.
small classical car that's in there.
Yeah, it's a small.
Be nice if those didn't face forward, but
Well, the house is 150 feet from the road.
just saying it'd be
They're
nice if they
existing-
didn't face
And they're
forward.
existing doors.
Did they already get them? Yes.
Well, that's what I was asking, because it looks like you
Oh,
know,
those aren't garage doors?
on the top.
Yeah, these two are good. The
Well,
existing
must
It
have
doors.
almost
been
looks
for
like they're
garage.
unused.
Well, they are. These got a classic car in there.
Oh, of course, it's a classic.
See, I actually think we'd need to see a rendering.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because a house at this size and this location, this is sort of I think we want a little more understanding on what it looks like in color, what it looks like in what those columns look like in a rendering, and
This is the outside paint?
those
No,
are
that's the shutters.
the shutters.
The
in
shutters.
the-
The house is
okay.
white.
Oh, just the
It's
shutters.
white, it's gonna stay white.
Okay,
White
okay.
platforms, we stay white.
'Cause I remember that-
Shutters, try to keep them as
Got it.
not prominent at all.
Okay.
And is there
Cedar
any
roof.
changes to the driveway or the landscaping plan or the pool house or something on this?
Yeah, we need to see that. All right, so can you have that ready by the next meeting?
Certainly try. But
Okay, so let's adjourn this to the 23rd. If you can't, we can move it to the 9th, but let's adjourn it to the 23rd.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Okay, so
Get public comment?
is there any public comment?
Oh, is there? Oh. I was gonna
Okay,
say.
so at,
No, we still have to ask though.
Oh,
at
come
the
on.
chairman's request, we're going to adjourn this to February 23rd. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we'll see you then.
Thank you.
It's on the
Okay,
back.
so that brings us up to 107 Dale Street.
We have the affidavits and they're in order.
Oh, I keep forgetting to ask. I was so good
No,
last
you
meeting.
were
I
doing
was so
good.
good last meeting.
Hi, I'm Clay Miller, the architect and applicant for 107 Dale Street,
Okay.
on behalf of Olivia Lyons and Dave Emmers.
Okay.
Do I join as a panelist to share? Is that how that works?
Yes. Are you wanting to join?
No, do
this, or
I
you-
need to? I don't need to, right? Unless. I'm the
That's
owner.
up to you all.
Only if you're gonna speak.
Okay.
Okay.
That up?
All right, yes, go ahead.
Okay. If you're not familiar with this street, there are a lot of houses very nearby. The most important thing is that the landscape is quite well established around this existing house. There's a 10-foot privet hedge all the way around, monumental trees across the yard. We're keeping the existing pool here, keeping the existing garage, and building a new 3,500 square foot, 2-story house.
Okay.
Storage and laundry in the basement.
We don't need to know
We only
that.
need to look at
Flip
the
right
exterior.
past. Here's the roof plan, some
Here we go.
elevations,
Whoa, whoa,
and some renderings.
Um,
So from the existing pool,
we gotta do the demo.
whoa. Oh,
Let's-
wait, we're out of order.
No, we're not out of order. We're the, we can go ahead. So the first question, if we're not in a historic district, what can you tell us about the existing house? What year was it built?
we know that it was brought to this site in the 90s from someplace else. And
Porterhouse.
it shows we tried to study renovating it, and we just couldn't make it work.
So it was not in this location until the 90s?
That's what I understand.
Okay.
So it's not a historic house.
All right. So the question, board, becomes, is there any reason you would submit this house for landmark status?
I'm a proponent of preservation and renovation rather than demolition. I went by the house today and it looked adorable, and I was hoping that there was a way to work with what you had and
We did spend
retain, repair, replace. It's just,
we did spend months looking at that question. The owners have used the house for 8-9 years and enjoyed it.
The question becomes in our purview.
I
Is it a-
understand.
is it a
Wanna
house
make
that
it a
would- What house
landmark.
would you make for a landmark?
But it was going to cost more to repair it, and they were going to be left with all
Give me one
kinds.
sec. Would you recommend it for landmark?
I don't know enough about the house. I just found out it got moved.
Yep.
So when I looked at it today, it looked quite old. It looked at least 100 years old. So I guess what I'd like to know is know more about the house before I could say
One way or the
So
other.
once
one way or
it's
the other.
moved-
Just, I'd like to know more about the house. Sure, come on up.
Sorry, Olivia Lyons,
Hi.
one of the owners, my husband's on the phone. So we bought this house actually in,
Do me a favor and just get close. to the-
2004. The Schweitzers had owned the house before us, had owned it for maybe 15 years, if not longer, and there was a prior owner. That little shed that was in the back, the owner, not the prior owner, but the owner before that, used to rent the house, and she would live in the shed. It was 2 lots put together. So the south lot, which doesn't have anything on it except basically a pool, was a driveway to the back lot. There's a commercial building that's in the west side of the property, on the other side of the property. It's a mixed use. I think they live there and they have gardening equipment.
Is that the guy, the lawnmower repair?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So he's right behind us. And So the house was combined and put together. I believe my house and Nancy McGann's, although this is all hearsay,
Yeah.
were moved from someplace and put here. The house was renovated, shall I say, by the prior owners to us. They did a lot of the work themselves, and they destroyed the house. So they put in insulation upside down, so all the floors are warped. We are limping to the finish line right now in terms of everything. You know, I'm basically heating the outdoors right now because it's not winterized. So we looked at it, you know, was there a way for us to add? You know, because we didn't know what we wanted to do with this. I have a family of 5. It's 1,800 square feet right now. The basement's crumbling because it's built in brick. So there's, you know, it was added on to, and we've got crawl spaces. I don't believe that house was ever one house. It's been added on to and moved, if that makes sense. But I wish I had a better documentation of when
There's a large flat roof section here that's failed right
Alex,
here.
do you know anything about the house from the village standpoint?
I could take a look to see what we have on file, but if it was moved to its location, we probably wouldn't.
It would have lost any historic, if it wasn't truly moved.
Oh, no, I just meant that our records are by location, so we might have records of when it was at this location, but we wouldn't have any records before that.
For its previous location.
That would have to be researched independently.
Okay.
And you have 2 lots. That kind of makes a
Well,
difference knowing that?
No, meaning it was 2 lots originally. It's not. I believe it's grandfathered, and there's nothing we can do in terms of.
Yeah. If you look at it, it sort of looks like, is when you look at your neighbors on the left and the right, the lots are half the size, yeah.
They put some other
Yeah.
houses, it's not even one house. It was like
Yeah,
put
it
together
looks like
from
it's
like
put together with
Jamarama.
Oh no, yes.
Especially the roof part, it's pretty amusing.
I mean, listen, it's a very sweet house. We've loved it. You know, the people who lived there prior to us love trees. We have some amazing trees. We do have to take down our Japanese maple. We've tried to help
Just
it,
when I
but it's
drove
got
by,
that
it's hard to-
it's got that disease.
You had
so
to
it's
concentrate to see the house, yeah.
Yeah. So.
So
Okay, I can go along with not landmarking. Thank you for
Okay.
giving a little history about it.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to motion that the Architecture Review Board will not pursue landmark status for 107 Dale Street. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Although I'm sad when we lose houses, but, okay.
I
Now
mean,
let's
can
go
we
to-
throw it up, like, can we just say somebody could have it if you move the house?
That's how it got here.
Pieces of
Okay,
it?
let's go through the new house.
So again, here's the site plan, the existing curb cut, the existing garage, the existing pool, and the new house.
guessing you're leaving that garage.
Yes.
Yes.
So the screen porch on the left corner here.
The color of the house is gray,
Yes.
white trim, okay.
What's the roof?
Synthetic shingle.
Oh,
And the downspouts are copper?
They are. All the gutters and the downspouts.
Okay.
So here's the entrance from that existing cut in the privet. What that feels like in back at the road.
The existing house is white or cream?
It's a dirty white right now, but
Okay.
yes, it's white with some gray. The privet that we have around the house was there since we bought it, so I think it's been there for a very long time.
so it has a little funk of the
Okay.
previous one. It has a little of the funk of the roof line of the previous one. I like that.
It was certainly part of our thinking, trying to find some character in the new house.
I get it.
Well, this whole like rambling side
Yeah.
too, is like pretty.
And actually, I think
Maybe there's other stuff that's like this.
I actually kind of like the downspout treatment and double gable end.
The what?
What is,
See
what
where
is
the
in front of this?
downspout, the downspout goes up to the dip in
Yeah.
the double gable roof.
That's the existing for the,
No, but I'm
Oh,
saying,
no,
this
what's-
is the
Oh, I'm
rendering
sorry.
of the new space.
What's in there? There's a bedroom.
Like, what's behind that in the new space?
that is a guest suite on the first floor.
No, but I mean, it's facing the road, correct?
Yes.
So I'm
That's
just
correct.
wondering about the windows. I mean,
Oh, show her the rendering.
Yeah, so these windows are facing the road, as is this little porch on the corner.
That's what they do in these narrow lots, right?
That's behind what you were asking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
So this is looking at that from the other side?
so there are
So it's-
basically two entrances?
One entrance.
And what is the color of the front door?
It's a dark blue.
Darker than it looks in this rendering?
Benjamin Moore's New York state of mind, to be precise.
Oh, that's so cool.
Okay.
Here it is.
And the garage is existing?
It is.
And are the doors existing? Are those being replaced?
Those are being replaced.
Okay.
Those are the replacements.
Board members.
right?
Those are the replacements
Yeah.
in there, yes.
So this door on the side is essentially your front door.
Yes.
Correct. I can go back to the plan and show you. Here. So here's the cut and the privet back here, and you approach it on the corner.
We wanted to keep the flow of the house the way we're currently using it. And so everyone basically comes in now in the rear of the house, which is where we're gonna basically come in because of the parking. I would mention that my father owned the house across the street at 108 Dale, which was recently sold because we lost my mom last March. So he is moving in with us, which is part of the reason for the renovation, is that we're having him join us in this house. So his guest suite is downstairs in the front. We were trying to give him the maximum amount of space so that he was able to come and go, perhaps, without us watching him.
Well, that's very sweet.
Susan, any other comments?
No, I like it.
The only comment I have is your new garage doors
Yeah.
are a little barn-like compared to the house. I feel like I don't think the doors are harmonious to the house itself. I think a bit different doors on that on that garage structure would be better for the house.
Okay.
I disagree.
Okay.
I kind of like that it's not quite the same, considering the number of gray houses with white trim and small lots in this area. I sort of like that it looks different, a little
The
different.
crisscrosses?
Maybe older, you know, it's not, I get it.
Yeah.
But I just think it diversifies what goes on down there on Dale Street, or around there. Sorry, I like gray and white, don't get me wrong, but
But it's the
It's-
crisscross.
it's a
the
fad. I like the
is
crisscross.
the marking of it.
I mean, I think it's cute. It's rambling and
Uh-huh.
it feels like it
Yeah.
belongs there. I think it's my
Yeah,
only
I'm okay with it.
hesitation is the roof. Wish it was shingle.
Okay,
You
they
hate
all
the
disagree
roof?
with me, okay. All right, any comments of the public?
I know.
All right, so I'm going to motion to approve the application for 107 Dale Street based on drawings presented February 9th. Is there a second?
second,
All in favor? Aye.
aye.
There you go.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
It's cute, good
Good
luck
luck.
with it.
Okay, good luck. Next up is 166 Pulaski.
This is it. This is the killer.
We have the affidavits in there in order.
Oh, my God. This is the best thing.
Good evening.
Okay,
Demo.
go ahead.
Okay, Charles Kuhn, architect, representing the applicant,
Kim and Gardino. All right, so the project we have at 166 Pulaski, there is an existing house on the property. It's a one-story ranch-style, two-bedroom house, about 1,500 square feet, a little less. It was built in 1994, that's what I'm being told, by the applicant. Don't believe there's any historical significance to the house, so we would certainly request the house be demolished.
Board members, anything about this house that you recommend for landmarking?
No, I wish,
No.
I like
Okay.
a nice ranch, though I feel
Yeah.
bad.
Looks older than the 90s.
It was
doesn't it?
90s.
Does it look older than
Yeah,
that?
it was
Well-
Yeah. All right, so, motion,
It looks like 50s with that one.
motion that the Architecture Review Board will not seek landmarking on, let me address this tonight, on 166 Pulaski Street. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Okay, so the proposal is to demo the house, build a new two-story, approximately 2,850 square foot contemporary house. Materials, we are proposing natural cedar on the exterior, black windows, and a black standing seam roof.
How many of these meetings have you watched?
I'm sorry?
How many of these meetings have you watched?
None.
Couple.
One? Okay, because I would tell you, we have never approved a metal roof. And we have never approved we've been not approving black windows for the last
Okay.
4 years.
I
So it's just- I
understand.
thought that's surprising.
This house, and this is why I brought it,
Yeah.
number 84 David White's Lane, is basically, it's right around the
Yes.
block from this house.
It's not in the village of Southampton.
Oh, it's, really?
I don't think so.
It's
The
on
one
David
at the
White-
end of the
Oh,
street?
Immaterial to
Okay.
the fact that we're
All
not
right.
gonna, we're not
Okay.
gonna put the metal roof, I'm just.
Okay, well, in
There's one on-
anticipation, because I sort of questioned that myself,
Good.
I brought a second proposal, which is a cedar roof.
Well, now we're talking, but
Okay, so-
we haven't seen it, is our
Did-
problem.
I tried to be prepared for
An emergency?
version 2.
So
So
where's
basically,
this-
version 2, this is a, basically same design house. Only difference would be the roof. It would be a natural cedar roof, wood shingle roof.
We don't do black windows anymore either.
Um,
They really are strident.
Yeah.
This is a good example.
They're strident and they're really disharmonious to that area of the village.
Okay.
And, but
Recommendations?
take us through the whole house and we'll do all the
Okay,
comments
you
at once.
can
Yeah.
adjust some of
Pretty
this.
much, okay, so the whole, off the back of the house, we do propose a second floor deck. There are 2 bedrooms that will come onto that deck, so there are sliding doors at the back of the house. The bottom, family room, kitchen. So again, sliding doors and kitchen window over the kitchen area. This picture here is the proposed pool house with the pool in between.
Okay, board members.
So, the decks in these tight lots
On Pulaski.
on Pulaski,
Yeah.
Your neighbor
it's
is
not
right there.
user-friendly to the neighborhood. Did you see any of those over there? I don't know. So I wouldn't be,
Comfortable.
no, look at this, right at the, you can look into the
Okay, yeah.
neighbors. It just,
I'm gonna take it from the top of my thoughts. I think it looks like 20 other houses in the village, so it doesn't look unique. I think the roof, first of all, the metal roof's just gone, but the roof over the porch is too heavy. You've got a clear front door, see-through front door, instead of a solid front door with side lights, which is not typical to what we'd see and wrong. I think the black windows are far too heavy. The balcony, I'd have to understand the balcony sightlines to neighbors because these are small lots, and the glass doors on the garage. I'm assuming those are glass doors, so when you light up the garage, it lights up those doors?
No, yes, okay, we're proposing, yes, those are glass.
Yeah,
frosted glass.
that's another thing in these small lots, that kind of potential for light pollution going sideways into the neighbors, something we would not probably be in favor of.
I'd add
And it
window
lacks-
moldings front and back.
Do what?
Don't match. They're not congruous with
Yeah.
front to back.
So I think it just almost looks like a bunch of other houses, and I think you need to go back and look at the neighborhood. I think you need to rethink the materials and take the comments that we have and come back and talk to us differently.
Yep, that's fine.
And I couldn't agree with Mark more.
Okay. Are there any comments of the public? Okay, can you be ready by the 23rd?
I will try.
Okay, we'll
Okay.
adjourn to that, and if we can't, we'll go to the next meeting.
Maybe
Let's
we
be
won't
fair
have
to you.
another snowstorm.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's hope not.
Okay,
It'd be
so,
right on schedule, come on.
I'm going to accept the applicant's request to adjourn 166 Pulaski Street to February 23rd. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all right, everybody.
Okay, that
Great.
brings us, last one up is driveway gate.
Oh, my God.
3 Pheasant Close.
Sat there the whole time.
We have the affidavits in
And
there in
are they
order.
This is 3 Pheasant Close.
So, podium okay?
Yes, it's fine.
Go, yeah.
Wow.
Go
Sitting a
for it.
long time. Mark Cirillo for the applicant, AutoGate System.
Here's the affidavit, yeah.
Okay, do you have your drawings and put them on the table for us there so people can see them?
I couldn't read. So, oh, I see, it's there. Is that enough? Validate stamps.
Okay.
Yeah. You can look at this one if you
No, I don't.
Okay, if you take us through the gate.
So the owner has, it's an existing property, existing house. There's existing brick columns that are actually gonna come down and move. The gates, we're gonna go back, we're gonna set the gates back farther from the edge of the road than his present columns are now. Gates are natural, western red cedar, sanded finish, no paint, no stain. The solid or darkened horizontals represents solid wood, and obviously the white is the daylight spacing. All told, spacing reaches, it's actually, we put on our application at 42% spacing. It's actually a bit higher than that.
This is the house.
Are these similar to the gates that are and the neighbor down the street was similar
Yeah,
gates, right?
all three homes, yeah.
Yeah.
They're the same. Did I submit photographs? You have them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have them here. So 12, 2, number 12 and number 2 have the same gates.
Yeah.
Is it time to do something new?
Yeah, isn't it time for
Different?
something new? Thank you.
Maybe something that feels like the house.
It's starting to sound like a compound because all the houses match.
Do they have to approve this in there?
I don't know,
Is
do they have
there
to
a
approve?
HOA?
Does the homeowners association have to approve this?
The POA has, yeah.
They have approved.
Yeah, they've approved
Okay.
it. They've approved the other, they've approved 12 and 2 as
But
well.
have they
Yeah,
approved
but
this?
now we're into like repeating.
Have they approved this?
Yes,
So this has gone, this one on this house?
yes.
Okay.
I think it looks a little modern for the style of the house, and definitely the repeating is
Problematic.
problematic is, yeah. So I would not think that this was appropriate, or,
What brought us on to do that?
I think what you're hearing is when you have 3 houses in a neighborhood, they all have the exact same gates, it starts to look like a pre-planned community, which is not what Southampton or this neighborhood, these are expensive houses, not what this neighborhood is. So I think what you're hearing with the board members, there's not a comfort level of having matching gates for multiple houses that are not part of the same property. So it feels like a gate should be more designed specifically to the house, not to its matching neighbors, is what I'm hearing.
Plus, the style of the house doesn't have anything
To
to
do
do
with
with
the
the
gate.
style of the gate.
Well,
Nothing,
yeah,
or color.
well, we submitted it as sanded natural finish without any paint or any solid stain or anything like that.
I think what you're hearing is the design of that gate on this house with the gates like it in the neighborhood, you don't have the support of the board for. I think you're going to have to come back with a different design that's more compatible to the house and is unique to the house versus the other neighbors. Is that what you're feeling?
Exactly.
Very succinct.
Very well.
Okay. Do you think you can be back by February 23rd?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to motion to adjourn the application till February 9th. Is there a second?
To February 23rd.
I'm sorry, February 23rd. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Very well.
With that, I'm going to adjourn the February 9th meeting of the Southampton Board of Architecture Review and Historic Preservation.
Wait, second?
Second, third.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.